We have clearance, Clarence.
Roger, Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Roger.
Hail and howdy to you folks, RogerRider here, the Ante here with an EUC, your Zero for Hire and host this evening. Welcome to Roger's Roundup, Ante Comics weekly show, don't you know, where I bring to you a whole slew for this motley crew. Before I do, allow me to tip my hat to the chat.
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme, every stanza kind of rhymes with the last one. Hopefully it'll work.
All right, we got Dr. Jester in the house. We got Low Spec Linux Laptop. Welcome to the show. All right, so enough of me. Let me bring in. It's the Jinja Ninja. I keep forgetting. Hello, sir. How you doing tonight?
Hey, the intro gets me every time, man. I love it.
We can laugh at ourselves, you know?
Exactly.
Roger,
I do that a lot while I'm looking in the mirror.
All right.
Howdy. Welcome, everybody.
There. Yes, welcome. All righty. We got a couple of guests here tonight. Let me bring them in.
We can't trust the sword of 1,000 truths to a noob.
Hello. The Noob Reviews. How are you doing?
Good.
Welcome to the show. Happy to have you.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Hello, Megan. Nice to finally see
Hi.
you on stream. Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Always.
Usually I just see your hand drawing. So
Yeah, there's more than me than just a hand. We have a head and mouth. There are the lips as well. Congratulations on the 100 subs as well. I saw that you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Yay, thank you.
Yeah.
Climbing up.
There you go. Up and up. Onwards and upwards, as they say.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. I got one more guest. Gonna bring him in.
Without a doubt, the worst episode ever.
Hello, John from Part Time Comics. How you doing, sir?
I think you're muted.
You are muted.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, did you know that St. Vincent was one of my favorites? Did I tell you that?
Nope. I'm still learning. How you doing?
That's awesome. I'm doing great.
Oh, good night, Emmy. I love you.
Sleep tight.
Okay, thank you. You too.
Good night, little one.
Dad's not going to sleep yet. And good night.
You, friend.
Uh-oh. And we have lost Roger. Well, hey, nice to meet you there, John.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Thanks for
Yeah.
inviting me on.
No problem. My pleasure. Oh, well, I'm speaking for him. Yeah, nice
Yeah,
little setup we got there.
apparently
Oh, there we go.
9 o'clock is not late enough around here.
I ruined the show while you were gone. I just took it down.
It's totally ruined.
Elon
Yeah,
Musk
it's all good.
flamethrower.
So how is everyone doing tonight? Great.
Well,
All
pretty
right.
good. Pretty good.
Good.
I cannot complain.
Yep.
Awesome.
All is good. All is good.
Sometimes I still do.
You know, complaining's like laughter. Is it? I don't know. It makes you live longer. Yeah.
Maybe.
All right. Well, to kind of introduce us ourselves, I guess. Me and James are working on a comic book.
I don't know where to look here.
It is called Ante Junk Western. We are in the sign up phase. Link is in the description. That's a PC did last. There you
Last
go.
week.
Last week.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh,
I've
so
done a little adjusting to it, but there's the tent city in the background. Put that in there.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go. No more showing off.
So, the goal of this show is to kind of bring people together, both creators and reviewers, shall we say. So, John, I know you are, we've talked, in DMs or whatever, but you've been in doing comics for about 10 years now?
Yeah, about 10, 12 years since oh gosh, yeah, when did I do my first one? Yeah, 2009-ish. So yeah, almost 13 years now. Quite a while.
Wow.
I'm an old man in the comic scene.
Yeah.
I'm just an old man in general.
Oh, I'm that too. Yeah, I started. I was on back in the olden days of message boards on the internet. Was on a comic podcast called the 11 O'Clock Comics message board, and just kind of put out there, hey, I'm thinking about doing my own comic. I see all you guys posting this great comics, just like you guys are doing now, and thankfully, an artist answered. His name was Bob Ornelas, and we continue to work together to this day. So.
Oh, that's great.
I was fortunate to find a good connection with somebody right away.
Oh, that's great.
So what titles? Sorry, if you don't mind me asking.
No,
what kind of
for it.
titles have you been working on?
Well, my most popular over the last 10 years was an anthropomorphic action comedy called Bulletproof Chicken, which is
I
probably
like it.
exactly what you would
Yeah.
think the title is. It's just over the top. It's a love letter to 80s, action movies. That was our biggest hit back in like 2014.
Okay.
And then it took me a while to kind of replicate that success. We've had another one recently called Drumsticks of Doom, which is about a young lady trying to make indie music in a heavy metal world.
Is that chicken
All right.
drumsticks or is that?
Funny enough, yeah, that it does have drumsticks, but it doesn't have a chicken this time. So that was probably a subconscious.
Okay.
That was me
yeah.
subconsciously trying to
Linking the
piggyback
two.
on the
Yeah.
success.
Some people might have thought it was a prequel.
Very
Great,
nice.
great.
What are
Alright.
you working on at the moment? Sorry, I'm just asking.
No, go
questions
for
here.
it. Go for
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You're a better host than I
I'm
am.
an
So.
inquisitive man.
Yeah,
do you have anything that you? Oh, sorry. I'm just like. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
We are Drumsticks of Doom was a big success on Kickstarter this February.
Oh, great.
So we're actually about to roll into issue 2 as issue 1 releases this summer. So Dan Doherty, the amazing artist on the interiors, is working with me on issue 2. And then right now on Kickstarter, I have 2 anthologies with 25 fellow creators. We're doing a tribute to Magic the Gathering and a tribute to The Simpsons.
Oh, great.
So we're trying to dodge lawsuits while making money off other people's IPs.
You know what? So that reminds me of something. You sent out a tweet, and like I said, we've talked in DMs. So you sent out a tweet saying that your lawyer told you that this is a parody, right? But you also told me about Gamal Hennessy. Are you working with him, or is that just a coincidence?
I have not worked with him. He is participated in some indie comics groups I'm in, and I've obviously watched the videos I showed you, and he's very knowledgeable. I probably should have consulted him beforehand, but you know what? This is indie comics, so you know what? As Ozzy Osbourne says, there's no such thing as bad publicity. So if I get a cease and desist letter, you know what?
Well, there you go.
I'll be all right.
Roll with it. Use it.
The
Monetize it.
Streisand effect, right?
Right.
All right, very cool. Okay, so sorry, Meg, trying to get you into the conversation here. So on Twitter, it says that you're a model, but now you're doing the Noob Reviews. So being a model wasn't good enough, or you got to take over the world, or what's your plan?
Well, since like the coof and all that, and I don't have the jabby jab, like, I can't do as much modeling the past few years. And then, so it's mostly just like independent work and just for fun stuff. And I've always wanted to do some YouTube stuff, and I didn't know what to do. And around the same time as I wasn't modeling as much, I was starting to get into comic books. So I thought, well, why don't I just like review them, put that all together.
Perfect.
But yeah,
Makes
I'm
sense.
like way out of my league here because I truly am a noob. The noob.
Well, you know, there's
noobs.
there's
Join the
only
club.
upwards.
Well-
Yeah. I think the person with the most experience in here is in the bottom left-hand corner right now. It's a bunch of us newbies, and the guy in the middle top, he's doing all right as well.
Ooh.
Speaking of modeling, if you don't mind me showing, is this okay?
Yeah.
So today I always do like a live art during our little streams here, and so I figured ours has got like a Western look to it, a Western theme. So Megan recently did a photo shoot where she was had like this Western kind of theme to it. So I asked her if she would kindly let me do one of those pictures today. So I've chosen this one that I'm going to work on today and kind of like add some things and do it too. But there you go. That's from one of her photo shoots. Oh, if you don't mind having this
Yeah,
up here, is
that's
that
fine.
okay? All
I
right.
mean, they're
I'm
on
sure
the
as a model,
internet,
you want more
so-
people to see it, right? Kind of reminds me. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie High Fidelity. Have you seen High Fidelity?
Mm,
Oh, please check it. It's a John Cusack movie. It's one of my faves.
Okay.
It's really good. So there's a part in there where he works at a record shop, and he goes to these shows all the time, the concerts, and oh, what's her name? She was on the Cosby Show. She was the little girl on the Cosby Show. I can't remember her name, but she's married to Lenny Kravitz, I believe, right? Is she? I can't remember. But I don't know. I'm gonna get all mixed up. But her character is a singer, and she's an up and coming singer. And he goes to her show and he gets her CD and everything, and he kind of has the hots for her. And then she walks into the show and his store, and he's got her new CD just blaring, right? And he's like, "Oh my God, she's here! She's here! Turn down the music! Turn down the music! Or turn off the music! Turn off the music!" Right? And she's like, "What are you turning off for? Turn it up! Promote my stuff." Yeah. So that kind of reminds me here. Do you want me to show people pictures of you modeling? No. Of course. Yeah. So there you go. Oh no, I highly recommend that movie. It's a great one.
I'll have to look
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah, High Fidelity.
High Fidelity.
Yeah,
I feel like I've heard like the name sounds familiar, but I definitely haven't seen it.
Well, Gary Nerderotics, he loves that movie as well. It's like it's
Okay.
the whole like idea of like top 10 or top 5 and things like that were on that movie. That's where a lot of it's about. Like he goes through all of his love life, but it's like top 5 girlfriends or
They
top
work
5.
Don't
What's
they
that?
work in a music store? So
Yeah, he owns
everything's
his own
like your
music
top
shop.
5 album, your top 5
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah. Top 5 songs I want, top 5 singers I want to sing at my funeral or something like that. Yeah, it's a great
Nice.
one. Yeah. So, how's the channel going? And then,
My channel?
yeah.
Good. It's just a lot of me learning the technical side of things because not only am I like a pop culture noob, but I'm technologically challenged. So,
Join the club.
yeah.
Do you have a link? Do you want to post a link to your chat? We can post it. Or to
I
your,
got everyone. I got 2 links for everyone in the description.
nice.
Her
There you go.
her Twitter and YouTube. John, I got your store envy and your Twitter. It didn't look like you were doing much with your YouTube page, so just
No,
trying to
thanks
get-
so much. Yeah,
Oh, and I got your your Kickstarter.
appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
This
maybe
guy's not a
later on,
noob.
if
He's all
possible,
over
I'd
it.
like to see some of the work that you guys have been doing. If there's some like pictures or some, show us some spreads or things like that. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know
okay,
if you want me to play this trailer or nothing, but so it's you got 2 books on this campaign, right?
Right.
Yep.
And
We've had
you
some
said one-
success in the last year. I was with the previous company for about 10 years called Kingbone Press with the aforementioned Bob Garor-Ornelas. Took a couple years off, kind of established where I was at and kind of decided I wanted to branch out with my own company. So I started Part-Time Comics a couple years ago, just as kind of a place to house my own intellectual properties that I was working on with people. But then, the itch kind of came back to, collaborate. And that's, I've had a couple of ideas for anthologies like this and we're doing them together, trying to save on shipping and production at the same time. So it can be a lot to do 2 books at once, but when you've got so many, creators involved, everybody's kind of working, doing their own stuff. So these things usually kind of come together as long as you, as an editor, kind of herd the cats.
Yeah.
As you go.
That's cool. Well, I loved The Simpsons growing up, and I used to play Magic, so I'm looking forward to these.
You're
so
the key audience.
One's a book and one's a magazine, or how's that?
Yeah. So we did a zine. Commonly, a zine is a combination of art and written work. I had never really branched into that area, but I was doing a comic anthology. Cover artist Tim Gadke and I were talking about, hey, we've got all these cool friends who love Magic the Gathering and do awesome art. Let's make a comic. And then I started to think about it, and I knew some amazing cosplayers, and I knew some amazing people who altered the card art or who did prose work, poetry. I knew all these different people who expressed their love for Magic in different ways. And so I said to myself, you know what, I need to branch away from just doing a straight comic. So we have interviews in there. Again, we have people who do alterations of the cards. Again, we have just straight up comics in there as well. So we made that one a little bit different because again, I just saw all these awesome people that were expressing their love for the game in different ways.
Well, that's really cool. And there's so many creatures and characters in Magic itself. I mean, it's been around forever, so
yeah, it has. Yeah, I've been playing
tons
since
to
about 25 years now, almost. Been playing almost since it started. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's do something a little different to kind of show our appreciation to the community, and that's part of it too. Is that Magic is as much about meeting people and the games and all that too. So it isn't just about collecting the cards or the matches. So we kind of try to express that in the book.
Very nice. Yeah. So
So these
They're
are
gonna
out
see-
May 12th? These are out?
So the Kickstarter started May 12th. It goes till June 11th. If you're not familiar with the Kickstarter model, it's usually most of these crowdfunding sites, it's either you meet your goal or you don't. So you take a little bit of a risk by putting it at a higher goal, but we know, I'd like to at least give my co-creators some sort of compensation, whether that's a small page rate or copies of the book. So, I knew that I need at least, about $3,500, $4,000 plus fees from Kickstarter and printing and all that these days is getting more expensive. So it is expensive, especially for the Simpsons book ended up being 44 pages in full color. And that can be pretty pricey to print. So,
yeah.
If you do fulfill your goal, then do you start up like a second run for like donations or?
So once you go over your goal, it's just kind of,
yeah.
you usually you want to do stretch goals. So we might give extra product. We might last book we did Drumsticks of Doom. We actually extended the book. So we were like, okay, we have this extra money. Let's give you a bigger product. And then we also did like a free sticker for everybody. So yeah, we try to put that back into because it's not a charity, it's a business, but when people get excited, if they're willing to donate and help you, reach your goal, you want to give them even more than they would just picking it up at the shop, because this really helps. These crowdfunding campaigns are vital to many independent creators.
Yep. We're going to be going through that pretty soon with our own
Yeah.
venture. But yeah, it's always good to treat the customer with the respect they need and give them something in turn for their well-earned money that they're donating to, our efforts and our projects.
Absolutely. And I try to
Yeah.
keep the prices fair. There is again a
Mhm.
fee to use Kickstarter, and there's taxes you got to pay as a company and
Right.
all that jazz. But
Oh, yeah.
try to keep the prices under control. Because
Uh-huh.
I do see creators who go on and it's their companies. It's they can do what they want. But when you're charging $15 for a 20-page book or something like that, it's like I feel like that's a little bit
Yeah.
a bridge I don't want to cross. As a creator.
Well, I
I
mean,
want-
you remember back when we were at the spinner rack when we were kids, and you'd go up there and bring in like a few bucks, and you can have a nice comic, take it on home, read it immediately. Where
Yeah.
it's kind of a different system now, and you would like to have it where people can purchase your stuff within a certain budget and
Right.
not have to. Because I go on there and I want to support all these people, but I'm like minimum $25. Like I don't know if I can do this.
Right. I mean,
yeah.
You just have to be honest, right? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
we try
yeah.
to always have at least like, the digital book for $2 or $3 or,
Uh-huh.
at
Right.
least the $5 tier, something, so people feel
Right.
like they can contribute. But yeah, it's
Exactly,
getting
yeah.
harder and harder, especially again.
Yeah.
I picked about the worst time, to launch a new company, and it's the
Hey, Tom.
printers and
Hey, what's up? Learning from the best here.
Exactly. Well, I don't know. Whenever there's more people that are looking for the product, and you have more demand for, hopefully this market, there'll be more of a demand going up, and with more demand, I guess the prices might be able to drop a bit somewhere around the line. I know. I'm just being optimistic here.
Yep,
Hopeful.
that's
Very
very
hopeful.
helpful. Like the more
Yeah.
success you have, you can actually print books at a cheaper price. The more you print,
Right.
the cheaper they
Right.
are. That's a big
Yep.
part of it. So that's been it's difficult, right? You can't print 10,000 books as a small creator. They would be,
Right.
50 cents each if you could do that. But unfortunately for small print runs, it's closer, $2 to $3 each.
Right.
And then, got to try to sell them at some sort of profit.
Yep. Well,
But
looks
Megan,
like
if
a
you want to
cool-
get on our review list, drop us your email
Yeah.
in the private
Well-
chat. We'd like to hear it. You say you're a newbie, but we like, we want to hear anybody's, part of the joy of comics is that anybody can pick it up at any time. It could be their first book. It could be their 500th book.
Well-
It's always interesting to hear people's opinions.
Honestly, like what I'm doing right now is I'm going through a lot of Marvel and DC, and I keep getting drawn to like the older ones, like
Yeah.
like the 1960s, 1970s, 1980s. I read a Wolverine like it was 2021 Wolverine, and I didn't like it. Like I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And I keep being drawn to like French comics, older Marvel DC, or like more and more I'm getting suggestions of independent comics. Like, and that's just what I'm being drawn to because nothing grabs me in the newer comics. Like nothing grabs me. The story doesn't grab me. The art doesn't grab me. The dialogue is like really poor. What is this?
Yeah.
That's don't ask me to
Mobius.
say that out.
Yeah, I can't either. I just got it for the
No.
art. I
See,
can't
that
read what's
art
going
is
on.
interesting. Like I look
Yeah,
at
it's
that and I'm
amazing.
like, I want to read
Yeah,
that.
sorry, there we go. Oh, here, I'll go like, look at that.
Pick one.
Yeah, like just the artwork. It's all, hand drawn, gouache.
Uh-huh.
French?
and- yeah, French. It's what's his face? Mobius.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, no,
finished.
is it Mobius? Yeah. Yeah, just really good stuff.
I just finished Valerian. I love
Oh
it.
yeah. There we go.
Yes, so good. I
done
want to
that
get
one.
all of them. There's like
I love European books. Yeah, the sizes are amazing.
Yes.
I don't know why that would make a difference, but it's like I don't know.
Oh
something
no,
about-
but when you hold it and yeah, when you hold it in your hand, like it's a lot more clear what's going on. It just feels larger, like the world feels larger. So, whereas like with the floppy, it's going to be 3/4 of the size. Like with the like here's year one compared to the French one. So I mean, look at that.
yeah.
2/3 the size actually, 2/3 the size, but still Have you read year 1 yet? Oh, the
I
art
have it.
here-
I have it. Like I have it. I own it. I haven't got to
yeah,
it.
that's just insanely good.
Yeah, well, that will always be your problem if you stick with comics. There's always that pile
Yeah.
you never get to.
Yeah. Yeah. The list is really long too.
Yeah.
So, Meg, like, what attracts you to like a certain book? Is it like the story, or is it the art? Is it the characters?
It's always the art first.
Mhm.
Like that will draw me to pick it up off the shelf, and then I'll like flip through it, and then like what I'm looking for is like the story and the dialogue, you know, and and then the character may draw me in, and I'll keep reading. Like right now, I'm reading Animal Castle.
Oh, I love that book.
Yes,
I just got the 5th issue today.
Yeah, me too. I just finished it yesterday.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm gonna
Oh, I
review
didn't
that
read the final one yet. Oh, it's so good.
don't tell me.
And this is how the story ends.
No.
Yeah, I do a mail order service, Tales from Another World. So yeah, I get it a couple weeks late. But I actually don't read a ton of new comics, but for some reason I just, like you were saying, the art on that first cover. I was like, you know what? I'm not waiting for the trade on this one. I got to get this one. And it you know, I'm definitely an easy sell for anthropomorphic, you know, animal acting like humans type story.
Well,
This one delivered. Holy cow, that comic.
when
is
that
so
one
good.
was suggested to me, like I was like, I like the art, but I was like, animals? Like what? So I didn't think I'd like it, but yeah, 2 pages in, I was hooked. That was it.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Mhm.
I don't double dip often either, but I definitely ordered the hardcover too for that.
Oh, you already did? I have to. Well, they're doing like they're putting 5 issues in like one, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Most comics do that now, but you never know. Is it going to be, you know, a trade? Is it going to be in this one? You know, they did. I'm a sucker for the nice hardcovers. I was like, all right, I'll double dip and donate the issues to somebody.
Yeah.
But that's a really good one.
Because I have all the floppy issues, but I will totally get the hardcover of that too, for sure. Yeah.
Well, and of course, again, you know, we don't want to add to your stress for the growing comics pile, but if you're looking for more Beasts of Burden from Dark Horse, Pride of Baghdad from Vertigo, We Three from Vertigo. If you're looking for anthropomorphic or humanized animals, those are 3 of my tops.
Say that again. Beasts of Burden.
Beasts of Burden. So that's supernatural pets fighting supernatural things. We Three is about well, I won't even spoil that one, but it's about, you know, animals trying to find their way home, and you know, there's some sci-fi stuff to it.
Okay.
And then Pride of Baghdad is about a group of lions that were set free during bombing in Baghdad. One of the zoos got bombed, and it's about their, you know, you're hearing their thoughts as they walk through Baghdad as they've gotten out, and it's yeah, it's amazing.
Interesting. I have to look that up.
The list continues. The list
It really
grows.
does.
Oh, it
Jeez,
always
it's so
does.
long. I was telling somebody I'm gonna be a little old lady, like reading comic books.
Always. There's always too much. And really nowadays that, you know, you mentioned, you know, I picked up this Marvel book, or this, you know, it just didn't grab me. You know, I'm glad to see you're already branching out, because some people, you know, kind of, those of us, especially if we got into it very young, we kind of stick to our habits for way too long. And I hate to hear people say that, because these days it really is the golden age of comics now. There's amazing work coming out every week, just world-class work every week, and web comics, you know, print comics, digital, everything. And you just got to find it. If you just look hard enough, there's something that will amaze you every week. So if you're reading something you don't like, I always tell people, move on. Why do you still get 60 DC books a month if you don't enjoy them?
Yeah,
the habit.
That makes 0 sense whatsoever. Like, just, I mean, you know, just drop the habit. You know what I mean? It's just got to drop it.
I know it's hard, but it's an addiction like anything else.
Well, there's a lot of things in the last few years that I won't get into really why I did it, but I just dropped just cold turkey. And then now I've got more time to draw. I've got more time to do comic book work, working with YouTubes, listen to like a lot of YouTubers, and just, you know, people who are being really aggressive in their fields and really going out there and taking a chance and just enjoying watching them, you know, succeed at what they're doing. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's good stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, just dropping the habit though, because you want to like go back and like, try to find that old thrill that you got, but it's just not there anymore because they're not making it for
Yeah,
you know
and they shouldn't,
you.
right? It should be,
Yeah,
those characters, especially if they stick around
right.
for a long time, they should, cycle to a new generation. You shouldn't read them for 100 years. But
Yeah.
for me, it was Amazing Spider-Man 700. I finally said,
Uh-huh.
you know what? I've read this character for a good 25 years now, and or 20, 25 years, and I've seen my stories, and I'm ready to move on to other things. So
Yep.
that was
Yep.
kind of where, and I still, you dabble, you hear, about really
Mhm.
good stories that you get excited for. And I look forward to that with these characters. I'm really enjoying the Marvel TV universe with my wife and my kids, and going through that. But yeah, the comics, it's just, the week to week grind with those characters
Yeah.
is long gone for me.
Got you there. Yeah, I think I stopped with my comic reading whenever I was in the early 2000s. It was just before I got to graduated, like right after I graduated high school and went to college. Um, I don't know, it was something about the artwork. So I'm kind of on the same page with Megan as I look at the artwork first, and if the artwork like catches me, I'm going to pick that book up. And was something about a lot of the artwork that I wasn't really didn't have like a big comic store available for where I lived. It was mostly like the spinner rack at the local grocery store, And I'd go in there and look at things. It was just like, I like what it looked like before. And a lot of the stories that I read them over and over and over and over and over again. Like I'd read the same comic, I don't know how many times. And I just wasn't finding anything that was doing that anymore. And it seemed like they started like going off into like these alternate universes, the multiverse, alternate timelines. And I'm just like, no, I'm just done with it. And then within the last few years, ever since the coof hit, I started getting back into just like, I found my old, like I have all my comics. I got them sent back to me from the States and went through them. I was like, man, I really miss this. I want to get back into it. And I'm listening to people on YouTube talking about it. Like I used to have that love. And what I realized is the love that I had when I was a kid was actually drawing them. I love the stories, of course, but drawing them and trying to make my own was something that I'd always wanted to do. And I was like, you know what? No time better than the present. So let's give it a shot. And yeah, so that's kind of like my evolution with it all. But well, I just kind of like when it comes to comics, I'm kind of like maybe I'm being snobby, but it's kind of I don't have like a whole lot of time to dedicate myself to things that aren't of great quality. So if there's like a movie and I hear just complete, everybody's just dogging it, nobody's like it, I'm not going to waste my time with it. But if I
Sure.
see something that's really, really like, oh wow, this looks like it's going to be legit, I'll give it my time. But I'm just kind of a stickler with my time now. So
Yeah, you got to be,
yeah,
man. Adulthood's a grind. You
yeah,
only have time for so much.
yeah. I mean, I do a lot of my drawing. I teach English, and then after my class is over, then I start work at 10 o'clock at night till 2 in the morning. And but now I've decreased my schedule, my workload with English, and I've dedicating Thursdays and Fridays like exclusively to art now. And it's just it's what you would call it, it's kind of a risk, but it's something I've always wanted to do. So hey, why not do it, try it out. Does it work, it doesn't work, but I'm gonna have fun doing it. And it's
There
always
you
a
go.
fun working on this stuff. Making up your own world. I mean, you got to know how that is. It's just exciting. I mean, it's storytellers, like imagination creators. Like it's just I don't know. That's something I always did when I was a kid. I would make these worlds, make these soldiers, these battles, these armies, these imaginary places, and in my mind they were there and they would come to life on the paper. But it's just one of the I don't know. I'm going on like a bit of a
That's all right. It's your show.
long-winded talk about just like how excited it is just to make something that is it's your own, but at the same time, I don't know, it comes to life whenever you put it on paper. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
an
and
exciting thing.
I honestly, I never really had that itch when I was younger. I
Yeah.
was, I came from music. I was always in bands from when I was 15
Oh,
years
cool,
old.
cool.
And I think that kind of fueled my creative drive. And then honestly, I didn't really get the itch to make comics until that was kind of winding down. I was getting ready to have kids, and that dream was not going to be lived. I wasn't going to be doing any world tours or anything like that. And honestly, never really knew if I wanted even that part of it, but I enjoyed, like you said, creation. So I said, what can I do with, some buddies to put something out there in the world? And, I said, well, I read comics. I enjoy them, and maybe I'll give that a shot. So
There you go.
that's what I'm doing.
So speaking of music, what have you been listening to lately?
What have I been listening to lately? I'm obsessed with Tim Heidecker's album from Tim and Eric. He puts out music, and he teamed up with the band Weissblood, and it's amazing. Kind of a cynical country album, I guess you would call it.
There you go.
But other than that, I'm kind of an old metalhead, so I listen to a lot of like Dio, and I've been listening to a lot of Manowar.
Okay.
Shit like that. And that's part of what inspired Drumsticks of Doom, is I wanted to make a world that was basically Manowar lyrics.
Okay.
So I've been listening to a lot to kind of inspire myself to write.
Very cool. Very cool.
Low spec Linux laptop says Nemophilia.
Yeah, he's the big Japan metal guy. This is an all-girl band. I think they're putting out a new album here soon. But he whenever I have a show, he always comes in and drops the knowledge when it comes to. I've lived here for 20 years, but he knows way more about the music scene here than I think I'll ever know. Yeah.
Are you into the metal, or does he just harass you about it?
Oh, I love metal. Yeah. I mean, I'm not as knowledgeable about metal as other people are, and he's a big metal guy as well. But now I've been going back into the oldies. Recently, I've been listening to Megadeth, bringing back Megadeth again, and
it's weird to hear Megadeth referred to as oldies, but I guess you're right.
Oh, well, I mean, geez. I mean, I don't know how old you are, but whenever I was in junior high school, I was listening to them when I was in junior high school. What was? Yeah, I'm 43 now, so I guess yeah, sure. Oldies, yeah.
Yeah, I'm 41. I was 11
go.
years old when Countdown to Extinction came out, and that shit was the bomb.
Oh my gosh, I listened to that album. I don't know. I always tell people this story, but I used to listen to that in my headphones when I went to bed, and I'd fall asleep listening to that.
Yeah, that's my area. Yeah, that and Euthanasia. That was my window to get brought into metal. Really, Megadeth was the one who brought me into metal. Everybody says the big four. I don't know why, but I had buddies who seemed to like Megadeth the most, so that's kind of what brought me in.
Yep. I remember it was junior high school in Indiana. The oldies, yeah. It's true though.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's good stuff, we're proud of it. We
It holds up.
were able to grow up in that generation that still had that kind of
Yeah, from like 1989 to like 1995. I mean, that was
right.
I mean, everybody says that about their era, but it really is. Those are the albums, Pantera and At the Gates and all those albums that just stand up all these years later. But I try to. I consider myself, to have some openness. I'm not somebody who doesn't like I said. As I've gotten older, I listen to a lot of more like indie music, like I was saying that Roger St. Vincent and is a huge inspiration for me. Angel Olsen, Weissblood. I've been really getting into a lot of female indie rock music.
Well, then you'll like that Nemophilia. Yeah, give them a shot.
Nemophilia. He also said Ninja Isu.
Yeah, those are I think that's the band that has like the monk in it. It's like a whole bunch of old guys, but they're like, I think that's the Ninja Isu, like a bunch of old guys dressed up like as monks and other kind of like gangsters and things, and they just drop some hardcore metal.
Nice.
Yeah. The metal scene is actually pretty big here. I went to Knotfest about 6 years ago. And there was just like a big, there was a big like following for it here. But it seems like it's getting more and more popular as time goes by. It's kind of catching up. I don't know. I'm not very knowledgeable about the music scene. I just listen to what I like, and then hey, I always try to get like new bands for people and good suggestions. And
it's like you were saying with comics. At a certain point, it's just impossible to keep up. You just kind of let your peer group kind of tell you what's standing out.
Yeah,
all right,
exactly.
I'll pick it up.
What about you, Megan? that you listen to?
I'm just writing these things down that I want to look up. I'm like, oh, this sounds cool. Okay, this sounds cool. I grew up when I was growing up, like, because I grew up like in a Baptist family, so
Mhm.
basically it was like gospel, Christian music, and
Yeah.
classical music, right?
Mhm.
And we kind of like pushed the borders, my brother and I, when we listened to like Christian metal
Right.
or like Christian rock, because it's like iffy, right?
Right.
So like I listened to like Theocracy or Demon Hunter or whatnot, and
Oh.
they were very like symphonic type
Mhm.
metal. So like that was allowed, and then I've
Right.
only like recently in the past couple of years been like branching out more, to be honest.
Okay.
And like
Okay.
I found Manowar and Rhapsody a year ago, and
Mhm.
yeah,
Wow. Of all the
slowly.
bands, like I would think most people would be like, "This is."
No. So, anyways, just wrote down some of the bands you mentioned, and I'll just add them to my list.
Got some more homework to do.
I
Keep
have so much
busy.
homework. It's ridiculous.
It's where I haven't done any like kind of homework for like a teacher or a class forever, but I'm actually taking a comic drawing course right now. Just
Oh,
to,
cool.
I always feel like I've got to do, always trying to up my game. So I have problems with my drawings, and I'm trying to address those. So it's actually one of the comics that's at MegaCon right now.
Mm.
And oh, why was I talking about this? Oh yeah, we have homework. So we have assignments that we have to finish, and I'm like, oh gosh. And I've actually hired an art consultant as well. I don't even know if they have those in America or whatever, but he's Japanese, and we do it all in Japanese. And I'm just trying to approach with my art consultant. I'm just trying to like get everything in order. Uh, I have two. It's like I have split personality. One side is fine art, like oil paintings,
Mhm.
expression, like what you call it, impressionistic
Yeah.
art. And then the other side's the comic. So that's why I've been kind of rebranding and split my Instagram up into 2 pages. Just
Yeah,
for
I
anybody out
noticed
there that was wondering why I was doing that. It's uh, the thing that he was talking to me about is like, okay, let's take your Instagram. If I'm looking at it as a newcomer and I'm looking at your page, it's all over the place. There's
right.
just like there's a, for about lack of a better word, cornucopia of of different kind of themes, styles, and everything going on, and it doesn't have. I've forgotten English, and I can say it in Japanese
Like
now.
been
Toitsukan.
streamlined or like
Yeah. Toitsukan, like this. Yeah,
yeah.
streamlined. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, Megan Sensei. Um, and yeah, so I just been cleaning it all up. And the comic page I started it the Instagram one, the Jinja Ninja. That's from like started from zero, and it just looks so much more organized and streamlined. And so, yeah, he gives me homework to do, and it's like, wow, that's what it was like to do homework. I get all nervous before we have our meetings. I'm like, oh shit, I hope he doesn't scream at me. Yeah. But it's been good. It's been a learning process. But
And so, if
hey,
you're over in another country, how did you meet this person above you there?
oh, it was
Yeah,
a
we
date.
were.
It was a dating site. I was looking
Oh,
for
nice.
a
Hey,
nice
man, I'm
man who
open.
was interested in like Western hats and these all kind of theme, and
Yeah.
we just hit it off from the beginning.
Swipe left.
Exactly. Now I think it was Gary's stream, right?
Yeah, well,
Neurotics. Yeah.
I've kind of had this story idea like kicking around my head for about 10 years or so, and I decided I wanted to start making some moves on it, and we were both members of Nerdrotic, so we were on a member stream together, and
Yeah.
you can tell that I'm so charismatic for all the talking I've been doing, but yeah, I just said like, hey, I got this idea, and he was like, and Gary being Nerdrotic, he said, get an artist.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, there's an artist like in the chat right now. So I messaged him. We talked. We were both in Vegas last August, and we met in person. and yeah, we're rocking and rolling.
He
Nice.
met me in person. He's still working with me. I'm so amazed.
Wow.
Well, hopefully it's another 12 or 13 year endeavor
Yeah.
like you got going on there, John.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Don't let him find out he doesn't need you. All right, convince him that he needs a writer. Okay, you carry him.
Oh, the artist, yeah.
Yeah.
No. With this one, like I don't want to give too much away. I kind of leave that for Tom Roger. I was Tom, whatever. To
man of
kind
many
of
names.
delve into the story.
Many
But
names.
no, like I was just going through. I finished. We're gonna have it. We're aiming at 52 pages, and I've got 38 of the storyboards done. And I'm going into I'm going to try to finish up all the storyboards this weekend and start going into the final, the next step, inking, finishing out, fleshing out the pencil drawings and inking. But yeah, just looking through it, I get excited while I'm drawing it, like going, oh man, how am I going to make this next scene really like pop out or get people really interested to want to turn the page? And yeah, so I don't know. And I'm thinking already about the next book, what's going to be happening next, and how, getting people excited and enthralled for the next issue to come out. After they read this first one. But just I of course I have ideas for things I want to do myself, but this is something that I want to see out to the end, and I want to be a part of, and really excited. Hope other people get excited about it too.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
read it, want more. Yeah.
The plan is to go to have roughly 1,000 pages of story, in the whole thing. So it is rather long
Ambitious.
and yeah, ambitious. Exactly. But basically I got a bunch of ideas, and I'm taking my time getting to them. You know what I mean? Like it's not a sprint to get to all the cool things right away. Starts
Right.
off slow and small and gets you you know intimate, I guess you should say, or we could say, with one character. So you know a lot about this character, you care what happens to them moving forward, and you know leaves leaves off right on a cliffhanger. Like I said, I've got 1,000 pages planned. I got the next one plotted out already. The next book, I don't have it written yet, but I got to plot it out. So, you know, I feel comfortable with that, but then also need to promote this. It's not going to sell itself, and we're both kind of no name, unproven. So that's going to be an uphill battle, but plenty of time to kind of work on that, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Sure. Yeah. Well, when
Yeah.
you say 1,000 pages, yeah, it seems a lot, but you never know. A couple books a year, you kind of chip away at it.
Yeah.
I always, not that you want my unsolicited advice. I know we've talked in DMs and things like that. Anybody, you can approach it any way you want. I will say though that a lot of my early stories I did end up abandoning because they were too big for what I was doing. So I always say, to people, be realistic. Try to make stories in shorter chunks. Maybe they build to a bigger thing, but they give your audience a satisfying read. That way, if there's not another one for 3 or 4 months, people can jump in and back into the story when they need to be. Because when you're doing your 100 issue series from issue 1, a lot of us don't ever get to realize that. So you want to give people something, short arcs, one shots, things that they can buy into, but maybe build to a bigger story.
Yeah. I mean, so the way I'm kind of writing it is more like an anime, I guess you could say. Getting a team together, and then it's more about the journey than the destination type deal. Yeah, it's I hope it works, right?
Me too.
Yeah, and like you said,
Megan,
you gotta
mind
if
me.
you have
Oh, sorry,
fun
go ahead.
along the way, right?
Yeah,
You gotta enjoy
yeah.
the journey, enjoy the process, enjoy
Mhm.
working together. for me, this is kind of, my place in comics. I like, talking to people about what they're working on, trying to help them, along in their journey. I don't have any delusions of grandeur that I'm going to, be writing Amazing Spider-Man next week or anything like that. I just enjoy this kind of, talking to people about creating comics in this indie comics world.
Got you there. Megan, just on a sorry to change the subject here, but what have you been? What was like some of your latest videos that you've done? Your streams. So what have you been working on there?
I was working. I just finished the Mighty Thor.
Mm-hmm.
I think the last issue is 354. There was that whole
Right.
large story arc there. I did. I've gone through some Batman. I did a Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
I did one that was like, I didn't like it because she was super emotional. I think it was one of the early ones, and I was kind of surprised.
Yeah.
At how emotional she was. Like, she cried like 5 times in the whole comic, and I was like, I get that she's a woman, but like, really, she's Wonder Woman? Isn't she supposed to be whatever? And
Wonder?
then yes,
Wonderful.
and then I read the new Wonder Woman, and she was way more. It was like there was the Americanized Wonder Woman, and then the Amazon Wonder Woman. That was what the two seemed like to me.
Right.
The 2 different issues. And it was it was like 2 different Wonder Women, basically.
Okay.
So I don't know if I really like Wonder Woman after that, but it was interesting. I mean,
it seems like a lot of people like the concept of and how the cool how like the character looks. So, like they've got the Wonder Woman T-shirt or the Wonder Woman, poster, but do they really like Wonder Woman the comic or the character? Yeah.
Well, exactly, because like as someone who knows like literally nothing, all I have is just some preconceived ideas of these characters.
Right. Yeah.
Just from the surrounding pop culture that we are all just coming at you, right? In the world.
Right.
You're just going through the world. So you have these preconceived ideas, and then you go, whoa, this is not what I thought it was.
Right.
At all.
Right.
A lot of these characters are kind of like that. Which can be somewhat disappointing.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
But
there's only so much time, and then it's like, do I want to give him another chance and then be disappointed again? Because I could easily say I haven't read it, but I've heard Daniel Warren Johnson's Wonder Woman Dead Earth, about like basically like a post-apocalyptic Wonder Woman. People say that's amazing. That might be more your speed, because that's definitely not. It doesn't sound like it's the emotionally driven story. It's more over the top, heavy metal type of Wonder Woman. But again, it's like it's difficult because it's like, well, I mean, for me, like I tried to give, Batman a few shots. I read Dark Knight Returns. I was like, you know what, that's I'm good. I'm good on Batman. I got other stuff I need to read. It can be hard, to find those the time for those stories.
Well, and I think that's why I'm being more drawn to different indie comics and that, because they're fresher, they're new,
right?
They're more fresh. There's just more life to them, if that makes sense. They're not as old or used up. I don't know how to explain it properly.
Yeah. They like, I mean, when you're on issue 700,000, it's like, well, what else can you do to the story? Which is kind of cool about what I guess if you have to equate it to, let's say, like a TV show, and I could be wrong here, but how many of you out there have seen The Office?
Few episodes.
Well, some episodes,
English or UK?
Exactly. UK or American, right? Now, I originally watched the UK Office, which is just amazing. But it was already decided. It's all going to be 2 seasons and a Christmas special. That's it. Boom, done. So they put everything packed in there. They took their time making it and made it a gem. And then it's like it goes over to the US Office, and it's like, how many seasons? What was it, 8, 7, 8, 9?
7,
I don't know.
like that.
And they just keep on dragging it out. And what happens is it's just like, I don't know, like after a couple of seasons, just like, oh, okay, I'm not going to stick with this anymore. And the story just kind of like gets diluted. And which is what I kind of like with what they do with a lot of that I've seen, like with British dramas or TV shows. They'll have like, okay, this is only a season or 2 seasons, and that's it. That's all you're getting. And then, but then it'll just be jam packed with greatness, and then you don't have to worry about it, like fading away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is difficult. I mean, like I enjoy a lot of the Marvel mythos and having all these little in jokes in the community and these little cameos from characters in different books, and like Star Wars is starting to get like that, where it's really an expanded universe. There is something special about it, but you're right. At a certain point, it's diminishing returns, and it's definitely not for everybody. If you don't have that buy-in or that ingrained desire to be part of it, I can certainly see. You know what? And you know what? That's great to hear too, because you know what? The indie shelves need people picking stuff up. All these amazing books that get canceled after 5 issues that really could have been something special. If more people took a chance.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think something with like the MCU stuff is like people like a good ending, and if everything is just kind of almost a commercial for the next thing, it's you're
that's what Tolkien said about
unsatisfied.
Lord of the Rings. He said, "Why am I going to dust off my characters that I just," he said it more eloquently, but the way you do a sequel to something is people want to see those characters return, and I think he did a good job of that as far as Hobbit to Lord of the Rings. But yeah, you can only do that so many times, because then it isn't satisfying. Like I was not satisfied with what they did with the characters from the original Star Wars trilogy and the new Star Wars. Because you have to have conflict, so you take them out and you treat they had their ending and we were all satisfied with it, and then you screwed them over for the sake of drama, and that sucked.
Member berries, and then it was just that was just a dumpster fire. And nothing.
I mean, they did.
Some people do it.
it.
Some people do it well, but it is difficult.
Well, Karate Kid. I mean, if you guys are,
I have heard that. I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard that's really good.
Yeah. I mean,
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai.
Yeah, because they respected. They did it for the fans. It was like it was all based off of a fan theory, right? A video that Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid, Daniel LaRusso was actually the bully.
I mean, it's so weird.
What a twist.
That's a foreign concept now. We're like, oh, this is what the fans want. Well, forget them. We are not giving them that. Like, you're in the business of selling stuff to people who want to buy stuff. Like, give them what they want. You'll make all the money. It's easy as that.
So, Megan, do you have guests on your shows? I'm sorry, I haven't been able to.
Right now I'm just recording my reviews. I haven't had any live streams yet.
Right.
I'm honestly afraid, so I probably should do it because I'm afraid,
That's my motto in life right there. If you're afraid, if it scares you and you're afraid to do it, then that's why you have to do it. Yeah. I mean,
you should.
That's what I've been doing my whole life, and look at my success story. Huh? What? Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sure that get one out of the way, and then if you want, I would drop on by. I'm sure Tom would as well, or any of us.
Sure.
If you ever wanted to do it.
No, we should.
It's a self-invite.
I like it. Just invite yourselves.
Party crashing.
Make it happen. We're
so
coming
what you guys
in.
having for dinner? Yeah. But no, it'd be the thing that you're working on again, John, that you're working on the moment, it's the drumstick again. Which is that the one that you're working on right now?
So the current book that's on Kickstarter is the Minicomics double feature. That's Up and Let's Go, a comics tribute to the comics of Springfield, and On the Stack, which is an art and comics tribute to Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
But we should have Drumsticks of Doom is up on our site for pre-order. Thanks for putting the links in the in the comment section. And
All right.
yeah, that's up for pre-order, and then issue 2 hopefully will be in the fall.
Awesome. And so how so this is exclusively, you have to exclusively get this off of Kickstarter, right?
So we do have a web store. So usually,
Uh-huh.
once we're successful and we're able to, fund the printing, we put the extra copies up for sale. Most of my artists do some regular shows, but being a writer, I don't have a ton of success at cons, so I don't do too many. But yeah, I'm around the comics community. You can probably get it from me in person somewhere. But yeah, our web store is usually the best place to get it if you missed the Kickstarter.
Okay.
Speaking of cons, I know you're in the Chicagoland area. I'm also around there. Are you going to any cons this summer? I know there's 2. There's one in like July and then one in August, I believe.
Yeah, I'll be a fan attendee of C2E2 in August, first time in the summer. So I'm interested to see how that goes downtown at McCormick Place. But yeah, I've attended C2E2 a few times as a vendor. But again, being a writer and not being able to do like sketches at the table and things like that, I don't always have a lot of success, especially with the cost of those bigger shows. But I'll definitely be around handing out books and trying to find collaborators.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm thinking about no plans as of yet, but I'm thinking about it just since there's going to be 2, and it's right about the time we'll be launching, so figured might be able to promote it there a little bit. Just thinking out
Yeah.
loud.
Good plan is to, a lot of people have been having success printing out little flyers with QR codes. That seems to be the way to go now to get people to kind of bring that link up right away.
Yep.
Hand those out, talk to people, maybe even have like, I don't know, 1 or 2 page printed pamphlet of a preview of the book or something like that would be cool.
You can show them the back of that card right there, Tom. It's on the hat.
Yeah, I know.
There's the QR code. The QR code right there is like the
Nice.
target sign. Shoot here. Boom.
That looks good. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that'll be real eye-catching. That'll get people to want to take your card,
Mhm.
There we go.
Yeah, I hope so. Got to get new ones made. These are a little dated, but
What?
you know what?
I'm joking with you.
Last year I was going by a different screen name, shall we say, and that is still on the back. So
yeah,
what are you gonna do?
And now they're vintage.
That's right. They are
Collectible.
Collectible. There we go.
indeed.
There we go. Sell them for, put them on eBay. Get some prices for it. Megan, just a random question here. I'm drawing this picture of you. Where did you get this necklace at? Or what do you call this? Not a necklace.
It's a choker.
A choker. Yeah.
It was part of a Halloween costume that was like a steampunk
Uh-huh.
Halloween costume piece.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Worn it a
Very
couple
cool.
times. It's not
nice.
comfortable.
No, it looks like if you were to go down and like take a bite of a sandwich or something,
Like you can't put your head
you
down.
might actually be risking some kind of physical injury.
Well, it's also a pain in the ass to draw, probably, so don't wear it anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. More of that. No, actually, it's this lace. This lace. I'm just thinking, am I just gonna just do the lace in whiteout?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
That might be a better option. Yeah, but
Sorry.
Just letting you all know that there's no like real structure to the show.
As you can tell.
So
I like it.
you are not hostages here. You are free to leave whenever. Our first show went 2.5 hours, and then our second went 4.5 hours. So
yeah,
do not feel obligated to stay. If you need to dip, you're allowed. Just take your leave. That's all I'm saying. But thank you all for being here.
All right, goodbye.
I appreciate it. Yeah. And,
Now get out.
Out of here.
Yeah, I hate to be a bad guest, but I will take that opportunity to step away as I do have small children and work in the morning. But I do appreciate the time.
Understand.
It was great to meet you all again. This is kind of
Good to meet you.
Yeah.
I hope to meet you in person someday.
Yeah, part of why I like to do this is to meet new people. So it's great. Thanks, Roger, for inviting me on and continue. If you have questions, any way I can help with your guys' launch, I'd be happy to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Really appreciate
All
it.
right.
Likewise.
John
Likewise.
from Part Time Comics. Links are in the description. He's got a Kickstarter. Go check it out. And thank you for joining us.
Appreciate y'all. Talk to y'all soon.
Take it
All
easy.
right, see ya.
Yeah,
Megan, you doing
All
okay?
right.
I'm good.
All right.
I don't have a life, so
Oh, come on.
I mean, I work, but like I can just drink a lot of coffee tomorrow. It's cool.
Oh,
I only have
forgot about mine.
I don't have kids. Actually, I had caffeine, so I'm awake for a bit now.
I keep on forgetting. Yeah, that's different. It's right now. It's 12 o'clock in the afternoon for me. So
Wow.
what time is it? What time is it for you there?
It's 10 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you and Tom, you guys are an hour apart then?
No, you're Central Time, right? It's
Oh,
10
yeah,
for me.
yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's
Central
12.
Time.
Oh my gosh. Ugh.
Mm.
Yeah, I've been waiting. I was
But
up all last night
is
working
it
these.
is it Thursday for you there?
No, it's Friday. I'm in the future.
He's in the future. He's 14 hours in the future.
And I
Wow.
can tell you, nothing
Tell
special.
us what the future looks like.
Well, pretty
what
much.
are the lotto numbers?
They're 3.15
Oh,
forward
wow.
to there is a Godzilla warning going on right now that we've got, so you might want to watch out with some wave movement.
Cool.
Yeah, he's been kind of active as of late. I don't know. Could be the weather. Maybe there's yeah, there's nothing really we're in the rainy season now here, so yay. It'll
Like,
basically be
does that mean like winter? Or sorry. I
a
don't know.
rainy season is basically constant rain
Mon-
for about 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. Just
like
rain,
monsoon
rain.
season?
Yeah. It'll just be rainy every day. And then as soon as that lifts, the humidity and the heat hit hard. Like it's like it just goes right into like summer. And then
Really?
yeah, it's not my favorite time of year, but like I said earlier, my the art consultant that I hired, like we wrote down like my plans, like what I want to do. He's like, "What are your goals? What do you want to have done by this time? What are you doing at the moment? And what do you want to have done by like?" It was always about giving me like goals and these points of what I want to
Mhm.
achieve. And I'm like, "Well," he's like, "How many oil paintings can you do in a week?" I was like, "Well, I work pretty quickly, so a couple oil paintings in a week is no problem." He's like, "Okay,
Right.
well, let's try to get 10 of them done by this time." And he's like, "What else?" It's
Wow.
like, "Well, I've got this comic I'm working on, and we're wanting to publish it and start doing crowdfunding in August." And he's like, "And do you have a lot of work for that?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, so no more oil painting for you until that is finished." And I was like, "Okay." So if it's me on my own, I would be like, "Okay, I'm going to push myself to get as much done as possible." And
Mhm.
but what I do is I end up overworking myself and just burning myself out.
Yeah.
So he's got me like zoned in on just getting this done. And so the great thing is like during the summertime and the monsoon season, I've got my whole new setup here, and I'm just gonna be working my ass off, and hopefully, yeah, it'll come to some kind of positive outcome. But that would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good to have somebody to kind of have something to do during the rainy season, those hot days out there, the hot muggy season, and nice air conditioned room. Couldn't ask for more. Couldn't ask for more. But yeah, that's the hope right now. I don't know if you want to see I'm kind of working on. I have a different approach to drawing whenever it comes to like. There you go. That's it so
Okay.
far. Yeah,
Cool.
like whenever I'm drawing from my imagination or whenever I'm drawing
Mhm.
from a picture, and I find that drawing from a picture gets a little bit more. I don't know. I'm more loose whenever I'm just working from my imagination. But
Right.
at some point, I just have to put the picture away and not use it as a reference anymore, and that way you get to be more creative with it. But yeah, that's the
I
process.
would I don't do a lot of painting or anything, but like a
Mhm.
lot of what I do is from like a picture.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think I've ever put it aside. That's actually probably a really good practice to
Yeah,
do.
like maybe when you're done with the initial, because I mean, we could get into a debate about art. Like, what's the
Yeah.
point of doing super realism when all you're doing is just
Copying a
it's just
photo.
like you're just recreating something that's already there. I mean,
Right.
yes, you can mess with the colors and stuff, and you can be really expressive with those, but
Hmm.
whenever you're able to kind of go beyond the boundaries of the picture and you're able to put that to the side, then that gives you a lot more, um, a lot more freedom. And then you find that your, uh, geez, I'm going to use Japanese. Your touch. uh,
Your I think I
um,
know what you're saying.
yeah,
Um,
your personality comes through.
yes,
You know what I mean?
your personal. Every artist has. There's a word.
Yeah, I know.
I can't find it either.
I'm an English teacher here, but to be honest, like I've forgotten so much. You don't get a chance to speak to people like around me. There's like maybe a few foreigners who live around me, and we get together once every couple of weeks. But
Mm,
outside of that, it's just teaching little kids or adults like really basic English.
yeah.
So a lot of terms, a lot of spelling. Don't even ask me to spell anything anymore. But
Can you
yeah,
write Japanese?
yeah,
Cool.
it's part of the
I got this tattoo on my back. I don't know what it says, but
What does it say?
I don't know. I don't know.
Nah, I've had people do that before. They show me their tattoo, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's what it literally means." But yeah, the person who was doing it was just throwing characters together.
Ooh.
But yeah, you gotta. But the opposite goes on here too. You see people wearing shirts written in English, and I'm like, you would not wear that out in public anywhere. If you ever have a good laugh, just do a search for strange Japanese shirts or strange Japanese, strange Japanese English. I don't know where they get them made. I think it's probably in China or somewhere like in Vietnam or Thailand. But just the craziest of phrases and words, like a mumble jumble. Yeah, Jipenglish. There you go, Low Spec. He knows what I'm talking about. Jipenglish. But you got to say the L with an R. Jipenglish. Because they don't have the L. They don't have the L over here, so there's no such thing as well. They don't have the R over here. I'm sorry. So it's difficult for Japanese
So you
people to
put
say
L
the R.
instead of R.
Yeah. Which could be a problem when you're trying to say some words like, well, no, they have trouble with the L. Is it which way is it? Both of them actually.
Yeah.
So if you're ever talking about an election, they're going to say something else.
Oh, hello.
You get my drift. Oh, who did you vote for the last election? Oh my God.
Yeah,
there's a lot
I
of
like
losers.
this one. I've seen this one recently. Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Warp.
Oh my gosh.
Star Warp.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Favorite
Yes.
movie franchise.
What did the Emperor catch on Tatooine? What gave him his Star Wars? He was messing around with the Sorry. I went there. That's a good laugh. Oh boy. So Megan, talk to us about your modeling career. What have you done in the past? What has been some of your fun experiences, or maybe some challenging ones, or not so fun? If there was any of those, have you been in
So
any kind of publications? Just talk.
I started up in Canada because I'm Canadian and that's where I grew up. And I didn't start modeling until I was like in my 20s actually. And I just kind of walked into an agency and was like, "Hey, I want to be a model." Like literally like that.
Yeah.
And so they just took some photos and they actually signed me on the spot, which is they're just not normal. It's not normal.
Wow.
Not normal. I'm actually really short. I'm only like 5'5.5". So I'm not like most models. The shortest they'll allow is like 5'7".
Right.
So a lot of work I would do is like ads or editorials or like more normal people clothes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I can't do high fashion. I've done a lot of fashion shows that were like for fun.
Okay.
One of my absolute favorites was they had fashion designers working with engineers from a university
Oh.
and they basically made like electronic fashion, or fashion that reacted or moved. So a piece I wore
Yeah.
was like a jacket that had like this battery pack like right
No
on
way.
my lower back, and it had lights all over it, and it had like a
Wow.
bunch of red lights right here, and then they had another model with the same lights in his shirt, and the closer we were to one another, the more our lights would go off.
Oh,
So
wow.
like our clothing reacted to each other. And then they had
Electric vibes. Yeah.
animatronic clothing, and one girl looked just like she was wearing this incredible dress, but it had these like spider legs coming off of it that moved, and it was kind of like art. It was weird.
Yeah,
It was
that
like
sounds.
fashion
Yeah.
mixed with art, mixed with these super nerdy engineer type
There you go.
people.
That's a good. That's a
It was
good.
the strangest mix of people. Then you like throw in some models, and it was just the strangest mix of people I've ever been with in a room.
Right.
But it was the coolest because
Yeah.
the creativity that happened was really, really neat, and the just the different people working together. So it was
I
a
like
lot
the
of fun,
whole.
actually.
I like the whole idea of those lights getting brighter as the people get together. It's all like that. The electric magnetism between people, or
Yes.
the
Well, we
or
actually
electric
did almost
currents.
like a dance. Like the runway was in two parts and then connected at the end into
Yeah.
one. So like we each entered on a different end, right? And we came
Right.
together. It was kind of cool. Yeah. It was almost like
Oh.
a dance, actually,
There you
than
go.
actually like walking per se.
That
But yeah.
reminds me of. That reminds me of. Have you ever seen the movie? Oh my gosh, why am I blanking on the name? Nicolas Cage, where he has a twin with Meryl Streep. It's made by a guy who did the Being John Malkovich, that director. It's
Adaptation.
Mike Jones. Yes, adaptation. There you go.
Oh, I've seen like clips of it.
That's where,
I haven't
that's
seen
where
the
he
whole
was like a
thing.
writer, right?
Yeah. Watch that. That's a good one. Put it down for your homework.
So much homework.
You've seen Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind with Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet.
I
right?
have seen that one. It was a very, very long time ago. But
Yeah. That's. I what I really love about that director. What's his name? He's the French guy. Could never remember names. I'm horrible with names, by the way. But he tries to use as little CG as possible, hardly any. And so you see all these crazy shots. It's all done with like using plexiglass, camera angles, just really like very inventive ways of trying to get something look like it's done in CG. What were we talking about? Oh yes, but one of the lines in an adaptation talks about the dance that it's all about orchids. There's this scene where they go to like an orchid flower show together, and it's like how all the orchids look like take on the shape of the or the color of the being that's trying to pollinate them. So like you'll have the monkey orchid has like a monkey face in it in the flower, or you have like the bee orchid and it looks like a bee, and it talks about this dance they do with each other. And when you were talking about that, it just reminded me of that line from the movie. Great movie if you have a chance to watch it. Very crazy.
I like those crazy, inventive, very kind of, I guess, indie style movies.
Yeah.
Really artistic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of strange, off the wall.
One of
Not mainstream.
my favorite, like people have like their list of sci-fi movies that they love, and one of my favorite, I don't know if you've seen it, Tom, but one of my favorite sci-fi movies is The Man from Earth. Have you ever seen that?
No, I have not.
Give it a look. It's just like it was based off of Carl Sagan's book, and apparently his son was the one who ended up making it. I think it was son that made it. I could be wrong, but two camcorders. That's it. And some actors that you might know, and a lot of them are just people that you don't know. Like one of the guys was the one who played Candyman, the black actor who played Candyman. He's one of the main actors. Another guy, geez, you just see like they're not really huge actors, and some of them are completely no-namers. But it's one of those movies. It passes my. I don't have to watch it. I could just listen to it test. You know, you have
Oh,
it on in
wow.
the background, and you can enjoy it. And it's just all dialogue. The whole movie is dialogue. That's it. And you're like, oh, it's. But if you look at like the top-rated sci-fi films, it's one of them that's up there. But there's no computer graphics at all. Zero, nothing. It's all based on dialogue. And if you get a chance, check it out. You might like it. You might not. Might not be your cup of tea. But yeah, more homework.
I think I know one of those guys from Office Space.
Yeah. One of the guys is from Office Space. Oh, is he? No. He looks like him, but it's not him.
Oh, he looks like him? That's not
Yeah,
him?
he looks like him, but it's not him. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I quit.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about though, because he plays what's the name of his character again? I can't remember. Something man.
Dr. Will.
Oh no, you're right. He was in Office Space. That guy, yes. Who the one who makes the mat to jump to conclusions?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him. He's in there. Yeah, he's in there. He's probably like the most like famous actor in there. Yeah. Yeah. But did you get a chance to watch The Northman? And what did you think, if you did?
I really want to. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
I know.
I watched it second time last night. I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. That is amazing soundtrack, great dialogue, great acting, great story. And if you like muscular men, you'll like it then.
I do. So
If you
I'll
like
look
the
it up.
muscles. If you like the muscles. No, that's just one of those movies. I watched it. The first time I watched it, I had to maybe do it in a certain way that might not be okay. But if you know what I mean, get my drift. And I never do that. But it's not coming out here in Japan in the
Oh,
theaters. It's not coming
At
out.
all?
Not at all. Zero. It's so disappointing because it's one of those movies
why?
like they just do that stuff here. They only like they release movies that they know are going to make money, right?
Okay.
So there's a lot of movies that never make it over here to the theaters, and then there's like ones like Fast and Furious 1000 that's going to be in the movie theaters for sure because it's popular. Yeah, it sucks because that movie was made to be seen on the big screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but just the fact that I could watch it on my computer, it's still like weeks afterwards, I was just like, oh my gosh, that story is still stuck in my head. It's great. It's one of those. But another homework assignment. Well, now you say you got free time. You use it. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Have you got any kind of?
At least you're getting recommendations for good stuff and not bad stuff, right?
I just don't have time for like. I haven't watched. I watched 3 episodes of WandaVision.
I haven't even
was it.
seen one.
It was interesting. The first 3 episodes, I was like, "Oh, this is interesting. I see this is nice here." And then as soon as they got out of that and went to our world, it was like, "Yeah, it's over. It's done. This is like not good." And then I did the last Marvel movie I watched. Well, technically, Spider-Man: No Way Home is a Marvel movie, because it's from Marvel. But like Disney Marvel, the last thing I watched was Infinity War. I didn't even bother with Endgame. I loved Infinity War. I had a great time
I
with
haven't seen either of them. I did watch Spider-Man: No Way Home
it.
a couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
We had family over and we rented it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I wasn't really all that impressed, to be honest.
I actually had higher expectations because
Yep.
a lot of people, what I had heard was that
Yeah.
it was like one of the better Marvel movies. And so I was like, oh, okay. But honestly, I hadn't seen any Marvel movie in quite some time.
Yeah.
So I think my expectation was a lot higher, whereas
Yeah.
people were comparing it to earlier Marvel movies that I hadn't even seen.
Yeah.
So to them, that was probably like improvement. But to me, I was like, oh, I had higher expectations of this. Okay.
Yeah, I was.
Which one are you talking about?
No Way Home.
No Way
The
No
Home.
Way Home.
Spider-Man. I think the thing
Like,
that.
did you see?
Oh, go ahead.
Did you see any of the old Spider-Man ones, or was that
What's his
like
face?
the Amazing or
Tobey
the Sam
Maguire?
Yeah,
Raimi,
the
the
Amazing
Tobey
Spider-Man.
Maguire,
The
Andrew
original.
Garfield,
No.
Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi?
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
And I liked those ones.
Yeah, those ones are fun. Yeah, the first couple. Yeah.
So that's all I was comparing No Way Home to. So to
Yeah.
me, Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man.
I got
Whereas
you
those
there.
other guys, I was like, those aren't Spider-Man. And then Tobey Maguire showed up, and he's like super old. I was like,
Yeah.
what is happening?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we tend to age. What really turned me off from the movie, and I know there's people out there would argue with me about this, but it just felt like the villains were weak,
They were. And
and it
they
was
weren't
like,
allowed to be villains.
no, they weren't.
Like they had
And
to turn the villains into good guys.
yeah,
or
which I
something?
mean, you could make a story for that, but it was just too easy. Like, oh, let's go catch a Pokemon, like a really easy one. Oh, let's go catch Doc Ock. Let's get this guy. Let's get this guy, and we made cures for him, and like really quickly. It's like, I'm not. I just didn't dig it. It wasn't my thing.
Plus, it was a little hard to believe that because they were like such noob kids. Like
Yeah.
they didn't have any prior experience in catching any bad guys before.
Yeah. And I just don't like how when they were like locked up and then they were getting made fun of. That pissed me off. I was like, nah, no, that's disrespectful too. Because a villain you got to respect, Like the reason that a villain is scary, the reason a villain is scary is because you respect them as well. They're not just an evil monster going around and doing things. You respect them for like their intelligence, their prowess, and qualities that they have that set them apart from other just regular old bank robbers and things like that. But it just seemed like they were getting made fun of them as they're in the cage, and I was like, nah, I'm not feeling it. I'm not like that.
Like
took
even
me
though they're
out
the
of it.
bad guy, you still kind of admire them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because you give them respect because because they're how powerful they are, and yeah. So I went out of there thinking I don't need to see it again. I'll never watch it again.
No.
Whereas like something like the Winter Soldier or Iron Man, went back and watched Iron Man, the first Iron Man again the other day. Excellent, amazing, just perfect.
I haven't seen those ones. Yeah.
Yeah, rewatchability. But yeah. Did you get a chance to see Batman? The Batman?
I was just gonna ask you that.
Yeah.
I have not. Now
Yeah.
I'm kind of after Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm kind of afraid to.
Yeah, like the first for me, the first 2/3 to 3/4 of the movie, I was having a good time with it, and then the last just felt like it was all over the place, and I wasn't feeling. Yeah, there are so many other things that could have been done to it that weren't, but it was funny. My favorite character in the movie was the Batmobile. I love the Batmobile in it. It was a character in itself. It was actually scary. It when it first made it. I feel bad. Like while I'm drawing, I don't look at people while I'm drawing, so I can't make eye contact.
No,
But
don't
I
worry
hope that
about
wasn't
it.
yeah.
No, you're good.
But the car itself, it's just like it's freaky. When it first comes on screen, it reminds you of it could be like something like from a Stephen King movie. What was the Maximum Overdrive? That was what it was called. So it has that kind of feel where it's like, oh man, this car is alive and it's threatening and it's out to get you. Yeah. So that was actually one of my favorite characters in the movie. And there are some really cool parts that I really enjoyed. But
how was Robert Pattinson as
fine to me.
Batman? Yeah. Because to me, when someone says Robert Pattinson, I think of Harry Potter and what's those whatever those
the Twilight ones.
movies. Yeah, the Twilight, which were horrific. I saw two of
a-
them, and I never. Oh God, help me.
Watch. A lot of people don't know about this movie, and I've only given it one. Sorry, my beard's gonna be in here. Take that. Speaking of characters with a life of their own, uh, um, he was actually in a movie that a lot of people don't talk about, but it's really kind of. I need to go back and watch it again. And again, it's like one of those that has that indie kind of feel to it.
Hmm.
Here we go. Give me a second here.
Chris from Sizzle Rock Reaction says the Batman is awesome. Low Spec Linux Laptop says first Iron Man was so good, I gave up on Marvel with Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
I think Iron Man 1 is great because it's like right in between, right? He's not a superhero, he's just a dude, but he uses his smarts and his just his knowledge of machines and whatever and technology, and he turns himself into a superhero. So it's not like superpowers, but it's still outside of reality, really. So yeah, I love Iron Man 1. That's such a great movie. Great way to kick off the MCU.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, he was actually Robert Patterson was in The Lighthouse, which was made by Robert. Is it Robert Edgers, the guy who did The Northman and Witch?
Oh.
The Lighthouse. All of his movies have that independent feel to it, and it's all black and white. It's William Dafoe and Robert Patterson, and it's crazy. It's basically two workers at a lighthouse who are stuck there because of a big storm, and they're running out of supplies, and all they have is like some homemade alcohol that basically the common element in a lot of Edgar's movies apparently is hallucinations or drug-induced visions or things like that. So The Lighthouse, it's just crazy. Robert Patterson and William Dafoe, and another one that he's in that a lot of people don't talk about. And to be honest, I need to watch this again. Where is it at? Oh, how do we even pronounce this? Cosmopolis. It doesn't get a really high rating, but it's by David Cronenberg. I don't know if you know who that is, David Cronenberg. He's a famous director, but it's basically he's got this really rich guy going through the city he's in his car in his limo, and he's got his drivers and everything. He's going through the city. It's this what's the word I'm looking for? It's all run down. It's like, dystopic kind of view. And he kind of goes through the city, and it's all these kind of interactions with people. But I don't think it's the greatest of movies, but it's just like a break from it'll change your view on how good of an actor he is. And
That's probably what I mean.
Yeah, because I've never seen the Twilight movies, but watch The Lighthouse. And that it's like whenever I had the same problem. The first time I ever saw Leonardo DiCaprio in something was Titanic.
Right.
And,
yes.
Yeah, and whenever I saw Titanic, it just come out, and it was my first year here in Japan. The first time I came to Japan, 1998, and there were Titanic posters and Leonardo DiCaprio stuff all over the place. That's all there was. And everybody was like, Titanic, Titanic, Titanic. And it's like, yeah, watch the movie. It was all right, but then when you're here and for like a whole year, it's nothing but Titanic. You're like, I never want to hear that word again. Yeah. So it took me a long time to get over that image of him as, whatever his character was. Tom? Rose and Tom? Was it Tom? What was his name? Maybe I can't remember. Rose and
I just remember
Jack.
Jack. It was Jack.
There we go. Yeah, which is a funny story. I got a little bit of a. Sorry, it's just me here talking. I don't know if you guys enjoyed it, but there was whenever I was doing I did a exchange program with the sister university that I went to in Osaka, and it's kind of weird here. I don't know if they do this in all the colleges, but they do it some colleges here in Japan. They put all of their foreign students in one dorm and the Japanese students in other dorm. They segregate you
Oh.
because, I guess, because of cultural differences or something like that. Japan is a very homogenous society, and they have there are a lot of rules here when it comes to like your daily life, taking your shoes off, even where you put your chopsticks, where your rice and miso soup go on a plate. There's a lot of like exact things that if you have somebody who came in just with no knowledge of that and you had to live with them, it might drive people crazy. So I can
guess
understand where it
understand.
comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand where
break
that
off
comes
the
from.
end of the chopsticks, and that's a chopstick rest, right?
Oh, well, actually, well, that's another different thing. A lot of people too, they shave their chopsticks like that. That's that's a no-go as well. That's something that's like well, you know. But beside the point, what was I talking about?
Dishonor.
Oh,
We started
no.
with Batman.
No, shoot.
We
What's going on
started
a
at
tangent
Batman.
here? Oh, Jack and Rose. There we go. The dorm I stayed in was basically about 95% Chinese, and then the 5% mostly Korean, Thai, and then a mixed like a couple. There was like one Australian, one American, one Brazilian, and one guy from Chile. But everybody else was Chinese and Korean, and then Thai. And then one of the Thai guys we had there, he was gay, and he had a liking for me. And so Titanic was big at the time, and so I would come into the dormitory, and there's a staircase, and you couldn't see on the side. There was like a wall, so you couldn't see on the other side. And every once in a while, there's just this leg would pop out. This leg would go over to the side. Hello, James. Do you want to play Titanic today? You be Jack, I be Rose. I'm like, I think I'll pass. I'm gonna take
I'll
a hard
never let
pass on
go,
that one.
James. I'll never let go.
I might have gotten drunk one time and
Uh-oh.
Oh boy, yeah. No, it
Oh
was a good time, yeah.
heavens.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Bit of a tangent.
Wow.
So how's the weather there?
Yeah, you got any stories like that?
I mean, probably the closest is like when I was in college. I studied theater arts,
Oh, okay.
and my friend and I, we were like getting on the train.
Uh-huh.
We were going somewhere in the city, and there was this like guy following us, and she was like, "Megan, hold my hand. Let's pretend to be lesbians." So he'll like leave us alone. I was like, okay, whatever.
Oh boy.
That's what I got. That's it. Right
I had kind of like an incident with that my first week of college, and I didn't even know college existed whenever I was in high school. Like nobody in my family had gone to college. Everybody just did, like carpenters or car mechanics or things like that. So I just like to draw, and I was like, I just want to draw, and they're like, well, why don't you go to university? My student, counselor. So I end up in university, in college, and it's like our first week, and we all go out to the movies because we get to watch movies for free. Yay!
Ooh.
And somehow or another, I ended up with somebody that I met during orientation. She was a Chinese girl. And then she had a bunch of friends, some were from Taiwan and some were from mainland China. And they all asked me to, hey, let's go out to the movies together. Okay, cool. And then there was a bunch of guys that came up while I was speaking to one of my friends. And they're like, hey, what's your number? And the girl's like, and I didn't know this was going on at all. And she was not comfortable at all.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to get the digits very passionately from her. And the next thing I know, she just hops over to me. James, come here. Act like your boyfriend. Hold my hand. I went, okay.
Okay.
And then I was completely oblivious to it. And then I go over there and hold her hand. And then I say, hello? And they're like, what is it? And then they're ready to throw down. They're ready to fight. I was like, what are you doing? Get out of her way. We're trying to get this girl's numbers. I'm like,
Oh,
she's my girlfriend. And I was like, I was almost in a fight They're like three guys out of nowhere. But that's kind of the story of my life. I end up in those kind of situations all the time where I'm completely
gosh.
oblivious to what's going on. The next thing I know, there's somebody trying to like tear my head off. I'm like, oh, again?
You're just
Again?
there. You're just
I'm just there. Innocent bystander. Just leave me alone. I just want to eat my popcorn. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Oh, that movie, by the way, was Gattaca. Have you ever seen Gattaca?
Gattaca. I've never even heard of
Oh
that.
my gosh.
We didn't have a TV growing up, okay?
Oh, okay. My bad.
Okay. Yeah. I am way behind. When I say I'm a noob, I mean
You're
I'm
a
a
noob.
noob.
Okay. All right.
Like
Watch
in
Gattaca
every
and then
sense of
thank you
the
later.
word.
Ethan Hawke, one of his best movies ever. Ethan Hawke and oh my gosh, Uma Thurman.
Uma Thurman.
Yeah, she's Kill Bill girl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I saw the first
Gattaca.
Kill Bill.
Gattaca. It's also got Jude Law in it as well.
Oh, I used to have a crush on Jude Law.
Me too.
What?
What? What's going on here?
Okay. I think it was his accent. Anyways.
Oh, that's another great one, Gattaca. But I feel like I'm just preaching at you, and giving you my.
You just need to like send me a whole list of
Yeah.
movies to watch, or like your favorite movies, and I'll probably not have even seen half of them.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned about half of them on the stream today.
I have a list. I have about 3 note cards now, full of things to read and watch.
What
and look up.
What comic books have you read that you've been really impressed with?
Well, Animal Castle.
Uh-huh.
Super impressed.
Okay.
Super impressed. Like overall, the story, the art, the characters, everything about Animal Castle.
And what's the premise of that story again?
Honestly, it's inspired by Animal Farm by George Orwell.
Yep.
Who wrote like 1984 and all of that.
Oh, like the current times that we're living through right now? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly. No, exactly. And so I was like, it is crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of parallels.
Somebody is writing this.
Mm-hmm.
And that it actually has some popularity and small following.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just really impressed because I wouldn't have expected something like that to take hold or like to be able to take hold. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. I got
But I think it has. When I've talked about it, most people I've mentioned it to are aware of it.
Right.
I've seen it. So no, that one has definitely impressed me. Probably the most because like I said, everything else I've been reading has been DC and Marvel, but like I really have not gone past the mid 90s because nothing has impressed me past then, really.
Yeah. That's I stopped at I was basically X-Men 1995 or 96 is when I stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I tried a couple like in the early 2000s or late 1990s or maybe the early 2000s, one of the two. I was just like, nah, not feeling it. And then but there's been a big boom. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say I do also enjoy. Have you heard of Asterix and Obelix?
I have not. Now I'm on. I'm on that
Animal
end.
Castle.
Oh, that's really
Yeah,
cool.
I'm showing it, James. Oh,
there's my beard. Sorry.
this one. There you go.
Oh, that's right. See, I love that art style. See, that's that same kind of art style for the one I was showing you earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, that's usually. Yeah. Oh, really neat. Look at that.
Are there any people in this, or is it all animals?
It's all animals, which is surprising that I actually liked it because I didn't expect to, being that all the characters are animals. Actually, no, that's a lie. A human does show up at one point because they're like trading with like the castle is very secluded, so they're actually trading with some of the humans from a far off village or something. That was a little strange. Because the animals like talk and That didn't hit me until just now how strange that actually.
So the animals talk.
Well, that's the
and then,
beauty, right? That's the beauty. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be realistic. It doesn't have
Right?
to make sense. It just has to be good, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
You can relate to a chicken if you want.
Hey, they make that cat very relatable, actually. All of the animals. They do a great job. Those writers, oh my goodness. They know what they're doing. It's impressive. But yeah, I was saying Asterix and Obelix.
Okay.
It's French comics. I actually did read those. Those are probably the one and only comics I ever read. Oh, and The Adventures of Rin Tin Tin.
Cute.
Those were the only comics I read because they were at my public library when I was a kid. And so I never checked them out, but I remember just like sitting on the floor in the library reading these, and that was my only, besides like a comic strip in the newspaper, that was my only exposure to comic books until like much later in life, obviously. But I came across Asterix and Obelix again, and I love the art. It's very bright. It's very much, it reminds me of like cartoons,
right?
In a way. But the story is it's very lighthearted. It's very goofy.
Okay.
Very fun, and it's kind of predictable, to be honest. But I think the predictability of it is it's like comforting.
Okay.
You know?
Right,
to
right.
go with something that's predictable and really lighthearted, and just it's like just taking a little break from life for a bit, right? Because like Animal Castle is it can be quite heavy and deep.
Yeah, if it's based on that kind of yeah.
Very thought-provoking. But then Asterix and Obelix is quite silly, to be honest. So they're very, very opposite, but
yeah. Oh yeah, it's good to have those two kinds of everything like having everything being dark and dystopic or very, very, very serious could be a bit overwhelming
heavy,
at times.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, and I enjoyed Valerian because then it was like sci-fi.
Yeah.
Then I got my sci-fi adventure, you know. So, and I really liked reading Valerian because that came actually before the Star Wars story. So I could really see I mean George Lucas had to have been inspired by Valerian in some part.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
There's some like a lot of similarities right there. So that was really cool to see that and compare.
Yeah, I don't know if some people get turned off whenever they find out that like, oh, this person was really influenced, or wow, there's a lot of these things that have common elements, or oh, this person was copying that person. I think, well, who was it? Picasso said it best. Imitating is the best form of flattery.
Yes.
I think Picasso said that. But the same story has basically come down from the past, you know what I mean? It's just variants of that, but people pick it, like, they use a little bit from here and use a little there. But that's great when you can see those kind of. If I saw somebody, I think one of the greatest compliments that I felt like I had whenever I was in college. I keep on saying university. I've been here for too long. When I was in college, was I was looking at somebody else's artwork and I was like, okay, they've definitely been lifting things off of me, but oh well, that's fine. Go ahead, go for it. That means they like it. So if they like it, they feel that's something that's working, then that's great. Sorry. Side note. Yeah.
Well, now if you can take from something that is so great and then put your own spin on it, and it be maybe even greater still, like that's a skill.
I always have these little stories. Just stop me if they become boring. But in my art history class, which was very boring because we were one of the cool things that I learned is there are these doors in Italy. I think they're in Florence, or maybe it might be the Vatican. I can't remember where it's at, or Rome, one of the three places. But there was this there was a contest to see who was going to be able to do the. Now you're okay. Who was the guy who had to sacrifice his son, but the angel came down and stopped him? Megan, put you on the spot here.
Want to say Abraham?
Yes, you're right. Abraham.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it was his son Isaac.
Yes. There was a whatchamacallit, a contest to see to win the rights to do all of the panels that go on this door, these
Right.
two big huge doors at a at a cathedral, and one of the was it Giacometti or something, like I think it's Giacomo, I can't remember his name. He was the one who eventually won the prize, but there was another sculptor who was like, those guys were at it. Those guys were competitors, big time competitors back in the day, and they had to go to extent where they had bodyguards watching over their studios to make sure spies weren't getting in to see how they were going about, because they were trying to get each other's ideas right.
Whoa.
And it was that like kind of competition. And whenever I hear somebody who like, oh, this person like, oh, this is so this and this, it's like, well, that's a compliment in itself. Oh, there we go. Hey, whoa, I thought we got kicked off. There they are, the Doors of Florence. Yep, that's them right there. Is that them? No, I think it's different ones actually. No, the bottom right ones, the golden ones with the golden engravings, that's them right there. There you go. Ghiberti. There it is. Is it Ghiberti or Ghiberti? Ghiberti. Yeah, that's them right there. And he ended up winning the prize. And the other guy did good work, but his was better. There you go. But he tried to copy his work. So they had to have like people watching the studio so spies wouldn't get in. So he had to cover them up with fabric every day. It's just those kind of neat stories. There you go.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So if somebody copied your art,
I'd be flattered. Yeah.
You'd be flattered.
Well, here's another thing that feel like I always have these stories, and it's just me talking a lot. You guys can tell me shut up at any time. But we had to do posters. We had to make posters when we were in college for our exhibitions, for certain like events, for parties, and things of the sort. And so we made all the posters I made. Well, I actually only did 2 posters. Did I do 2 posters? They were all handmade. We printed them on the printing press. I cut them out in linoleum cuts, and then we printed them on my professor's. He had a big, huge printing press. And the whole thing was, if you made a good poster, what people would do is other artists would follow you as you were putting your posters up for these events. So you would have like a limited edition, like, 200, 300 posters. And as soon as you would put it up on the wall, they're like, are you finished? Like, yeah. And they would just take it down. And they would take it. It was theirs. They would steal it. But that was like the best way that you could show like your appreciation and love for somebody's work. As soon as you put the poster up, it would be gone. And so you would spend all day, like all week, putting posters up because they would just get taken down because people wanted to keep them. And they'd hang them up.
Crazy.
Yeah, and I remember the one I did for my graduation exhibition. They still have it up in the. Well, I don't know if it's up there now, but the last time I went, it was up at the art school in the office. Yeah. But yeah, when you see people like they put them up and you would turn around, it's like, where did it go? Well, I'll have to go back there again later and put it up.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, people steal your work. It's just a form of flattery. Feels good. But yeah.
Huh.
There you go.
I don't know if I would be okay with that.
Well, the thing is that a lot of people who you take, like especially the people whose art you really admire, whenever you see them taking your artwork, like, oh my gosh, really? Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
And then when you go around and you're expecting people to take your poster, and when you see it up for a long time,
Nobody's
same place, it's like, why is it there? Why hasn't somebody taken it yet? How dare you?
Oh, that makes me think of how not to just I don't know, kind of a silly comparison, but like you make a post on social media and you're like,
yes,
nobody's commented. Nobody's liked my picture yet.
Yeah.
And then somebody you really admire like says something.
Yeah.
Nice, like,
Or just give you a thumbs up, like, woohoo. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. It's especially like whenever it's something you've worked really hard on, and the people. I still have all the posters that I took down. I still have them here. They're all here. Some of them are hung up. You know, it's just it's just work you really like, and it's just really flattering. Yeah, I hear myself. I hear an echo. Oh well.
I don't.
It could be Tom over there.
Oh.
So I'm working on your. I don't know. I'm just working on your dress here. The lattice is becoming fun. So instead of drawing the white, you draw the black, and then the lattice comes to life.
Okay.
Yeah. So like there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I was wondering how you were going to do that, but that actually makes sense.
Yeah. I quite like that hand. And that hand. Yeah,
I would
there's
say
no feet
hands
though.
are probably. What is the most difficult part of the body to draw? Like, is it
You just said it.
or
The
hands?
The hands. The hands are the most difficult. But as long as you start thinking of them as just like basic, don't. One thing I try to tell my students is you're not drawing a hand. Don't try to draw a hand, because you'll end up drawing something that you think is a hand, but it's not really a hand. It's all shapes. It's all lines. It's all draw the negative space. The negative space around those. Pay attention to the negative space, because the negative space, by paying attention to the negative space, it'll bring about the true shapes. And so I try to concentrate on the negative space. Just distances between certain lines, certain objects. Think of them also as shapes. And something I should have done a lot. It's weird. In college, we really didn't go into the anatomy as much as we should have, especially if you want to be like a comic artist or whatever. But
Right.
the guy that I'm studying right now, whose course I'm taking, like he really goes into like really detail, a lot of like anatomy and how certain shapes are, how they bend. And when you learn that, then you can't unlearn it. It's there in your head. And then that makes it easier. And then it makes it fun to draw them. Like, ooh, I'm going to try these crazy foreshortened fingers, which I'm not perfect at all. I'm always practicing all the time. But, hands, whatever you can do well, then it's like, yes, I did it. Wow. Woohoo.
What about eyes?
Eyes are,
Are they fairly?
eyes are like the first thing I draw. Like,
Okay.
I like to get the eyes down first. Oh, they're fun. Eyes are fun. Yeah. I think that there's not really anything that, like, I guess, feet. Hands and feet are your biggest challenge, but a lot of people, you see, they try not to draw like the eyes or the nose or the mouth, and they'll leave that. They'll have blank faces.
Right. Yeah.
Blank faces or stubs for hands and feet. And then they'll draw those last. And I always tell people that's the worst mistake you can make. Like imagine that you are having a meal, right? Maybe this is a bad analogy. Yeah, it is a bad analogy. Okay. Well, no. Okay, it's not. All right. So imagine that you're having a meal and you know that the last thing that you're going to have in the meal is going to be disgusting.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
Or it's maybe something you don't like. It's like a taste. I just don't like that. But I'm going to eat it last. The whole time that you're eating everything else, you're thinking, that's in your mind. Oh, well, this is fun and this is nice, but I've got that waiting for me at the end. And so you're not going to enjoy your meal as much.
Okay.
But let's say that, okay, I don't like this soup. It's got some vegetables and stuff that I don't like. I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the way. I'm done with it. Enjoy the rest of your meal. So it's like when you're drawing, right? Your face is most challenging. Hands are most challenging. Get them out of the way first. Do those. And another thing that you're going to do is you're going to enjoy drawing more later. It's going to be funner. And you're also not going to be as tired. So let's say that you're spending a lot of time on your drawing, and then you get to your face, you're going to be out of energy, right? You've only got so much energy, concentration. And then you get to your face, your hands, you're like, oh, I'm so tired. I have to really concentrate when I do this. So you're going to have a lack of concentration then. So that's my advice for anybody out there who's thinking at what time should you do. I don't know if that answers your question at all.
No,
I don't know
yeah.
what the-
No, it does. It
Yeah,
does.
so that would be my advice.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Cool.
knock those out. Get those things out of the way, and then you can have more fun with the rest of the drawing. If something is intimidating, you got to do it. Something scares you, do it.
It's true.
Get it out of the way.
And I guess that if you draw like the head and everything, and then you put the features in, the features might not fit anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that makes sense.
If you draw the head and like you wait for later, and then you're like, oh, nothing is matching up, then you've shot yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just start all over.
Exactly. And that's one of the advice the comic artist guy, he's Korean and I have trouble pronouncing his name. It's like I'm sorry, he does work for Marvel and for he's done like Superman, he's done Spider-Man.
Wow.
I think he's working on Hellboy right now. He's doing like a Hellboy illustrations. He's like, if you see something wrong, you better just go ahead and redo it right now, because it has to be done.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like escaping that. It has to be done. And instead of waiting a long time later where that mistake might affect other things, it might seem like a pain in the ass, but do it right now. Otherwise, you're going to regret it later. It just has to be done. It's just paying your taxes or doing something very mundane. It has to be done. So do it now. Yeah. I say that, but at the same time, do I actually follow that? I don't know. Yeah.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, exactly. So, Megan, what kind of goals do you have for your YouTube channel? Do you have any kind of things that you would like to achieve? What's on your mind there?
I want to like expand out and review different things. So I'd like to review some TV shows. Whoa, I just bumped my mic. I'd like to review some TV shows. I'm not quite sure how to do that, but I've kind of thought like maybe I would do like a Saturday morning type stream reviewing, some cartoon or something like. I've had a couple people ask me to do some games, like some gaming and stuff, and I'm like, well, I mean, that could be boring because I die a lot. I attempt to play different games, and it's fun, but I don't know what I'm doing.
All right.
So there's just a lot of Megan dying. But if you want to see Megan die on stream, that's fine.
You're sadistic like that. Yeah.
Like, you just want to watch a noob die while she's gaming. Yeah. That's okay, I guess.
Maybe that's the name of the channel, Die Megan Die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to
I feel like people would watch you read the dictionary. I'm just throwing that out there.
What?
Flattery, Tom. Flattery.
You are welcome. So I am trying to kind of, like I said, bridge the gap between reviewers and independents, and kind of skipping over the the mainstream stuff.
Yeah.
There is this book I just finished reading. It's called Battle Brick Road. It's a reimagining of The Wizard of Oz.
Ooh.
It's on IndieGoGo. It's a pretty cool little book. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out and that's already out in the independent sphere. You know what I mean? So some of the names get a bad rap just because, I don't know what you've heard about independent comic books in general, but most people probably think that they're late all the time and it's is a scam and you're not going to get what you paid for and stuff like that. But I mean, these are the people that are out there, putting themselves on the line. I'm sure they have something to lose, but they're not held back by any corporate agenda or meddling or anything like that. It's the story that people want to tell,
Yeah.
and they're able to do that. So there are some cool books out there. I'm waiting on more in the mail, but as far as mainstream stuff, I've been getting Gunslinger Spawn.
Oh, that looks cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of a take on like a supernatural take on a Western. So I'm trying to do my, I'm considering it research and development. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Learning different, what Todd McFarlane is doing with a Western character. So, I mean, there's stuff out there. If Marvel and DC is not doing it for you, there are plenty of options out there.
No, I think I see myself definitely moving away from Marvel and DC because I've been trying like I've been dipping into it and trying this and that, and I've found some miniseries story arcs within interesting for sure. But they're not something like I just go, I want to keep reading and reading and reading and reading this. Like the more I read it, the more I'm like, it's not bad, but it's not grabbing me. Right? The way like I keep talking about these French comics, but they haven't grabbed me the way these French comics have. So I think I really do need to delve more into the independent comics because I'm probably going to like that more. It's something that's different and it's fresh and it's new and you can also feel, I think, like the life behind it because the people who wrote it, the people who worked on it, like this is their life. This is all they have, this is all they've put into that, and you can feel that when you read it versus something that is very mainstream. And
I got you there.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
You do know, Megan.
You know what's up.
That's something that our professors used to always get pissed off with us in when we were doing critiques. We would give like this big whole spiel, this articulate, insight or critique of somebody's work, and then yeah, I don't know. It's like, don't say that. Don't say that.
Worst ending.
Yeah.
Oh man.
There's a little spit in my drawings, so blood and spit.
I have hair now.
Oh no, you had hair from before. I just hadn't inked it yet.
Okay, I see the detail of my hair now.
Yeah. It was there in pencil. There you go.
You have more than one hair now. There you go.
There you go. There's your hair, your necklace, and that.
Wow, the lace looks really good.
Thank you. It's fun. So it's the first time I've drawn lace like this, so it's a good experience.
I'm impressed. Doesn't look like your first time, so.
Yeah, I was about ready to make a joke there, but I'll stop. I'll hold myself. Hold back, James. Hold back. Don't do it. Be a gentleman. Lady on the panel. So who are some people that you would like to have on your show that maybe other YouTubers or other people out there that you are like, hey, this person, I'd like to have them out? Is there anybody you had in mind or?
Not really. Honestly, like I don't really know who all is out there a lot yet. I think I need to explore more other creators and connect with more creators because I haven't done that yet, and that's probably something I should do. Networking and stuff.
I got you. Yep.
And like I'm kind of an introvert, so being the first one to approach people is actually very difficult for me.
I hear you.
Versus like if anybody approaches me, I'm like, yeah, okay. But yeah.
Yeah.
Approaching.
Thank you for saying yes. Thank you.
No, I completely hear you. Like it's taken a long time for me to. I'm the kind of person like if you invited me out, okay, yeah, I'll go out with you, or go out to a party, but I'm not going to like go out of my way to set up a party. You know,
Yeah.
I'll
Yes.
just be like, "Hey, you're having something? Sure, I'll go. Sounds great."
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, what 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 led you down the rabbit hole to where you're at now with with this whole the YouTube thing and
Well, it all started. Honestly, it's so super weird. It all started with the coof.
yeah,
When
same here.
everybody's
Yeah,
at home more and
yep,
there's like nothing on TV and there's nothing on Netflix, and so you go to YouTube and then you just kind of fall into the rabbit hole of YouTube
yeah, yeah.
and the different creators. And I found Carrie Smith, and then I
Uh-huh.
found Nerdrotics, and then I
Mhm.
found Geeks and Gamers, and
Right.
all these cool people and everybody involved within Geeks and Gamers and their separate channels and everything, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And just watching their different shows, everything that they put out there, and kind of looking at it and going, I could do that too.
Right.
I could do that. Um,
Right.
and then I would watch their shows, and lots of people would comment like, "How did you get into this? Where should you start? How do you start?" And they all said the same thing. They all said, "Just start. Like,
Yeah,
just do
just
it.
do it. Yeah.
Just do it." And I went, "Okay, I guess I should just do it." Because I'd literally been thinking about it for like a year.
Yeah.
What can I do? What can I do to make me stand out? Well,
Mhm.
and I just was overthinking, and
Right, right, right.
and then
Be
they all
yourself.
were just saying, "Just do it." And I think I was
Yeah.
like in a week, 3 of them said the same thing
Yeah.
to different people. Just do it. Just start. So
Hello to Phil TMNT in the chat.
hi, Phil.
Oh, hey,
Joining
what's up,
us.
Phil? What's going there? Yeah, yeah,
Phil
you
had
just
me on his stream last week.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just basically got to just be yourself. I think that's one of the things that people just like a lot now. People are just genuinely themselves. And whenever especially with, SNS, Facebook, Twitter and all this coming out, well, more so with Twitter, the uh the the actors and actresses were exposed. The curtain was revealed, right? The curtain was
Mhm.
pulled back and you got to see who they really were. Whereas up to this point, they were all mysterious and you didn't
Yep.
know, and that was one of the reasons people are like, "Oh, I love this person, or I love that person." It's like, how can you? You've never met them.
You
It's
don't
all
know them.
you don't know them. How could you? And so now you just see people who are they're genuine. They're genuinely themselves. And then I think that's something that we're kind of yearning for now. A lot of people just they're tired of like the whole act, and they just want to see. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, but
No.
Well, I mean, you
you
look at
yeah,
mainstream, I'll say news, but just
yeah,
just highly produced
yeah,
any kind of shows, whether it be
yeah.
news or just pop culture or whatever.
Right.
I mean, they put up such a front that they're better than thou, but
Yeah,
they're paid for what they say. They
yeah,
can't criticize anything. They can't put it down. So that you're just getting yes men kind
right.
of answers and takes, and people see through that.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, for sure.
Hail.
Well, yeah.
Right on there, Tom. Right on there.
Yeah.
We all had to process that grand speech that you made.
Oh, there's I don't know about did you guys start using Twitter? I didn't start using Twitter until basically a little like right when the Coof whole thing happened, like maybe a little bit after
Yeah,
that.
same. It was around the same time as I started YouTube, because I was like, I guess I have to have some way to connect with
Yeah, with
people
people interact.
and
Yeah.
then promote, because Instagram honestly is not the best place to do that.
Right.
Instagram is all about photos.
Uh-huh.
And
It's funny here in Japan, Instagram is the way to connect.
really
People like YouTube isn't it, or Twitter isn't it? It's Instagram here.
interesting,
Yeah.
because I
Also,
feel like
also,
Instagram is just like the quick kind of stock stalking people or like just
Whoa.
it's just about the photos, like a quick check-in on somebody, but not as personal. Not that social media is that personal, but
Right.
But I
Like
feel like that's interesting because I feel
Yeah.
like I've connected the most with people through Twitter and YouTube
Mhm.
versus Instagram.
Yeah,
Megan, I'll
Instagram.
just say that your Twitter DMs are closed. So,
Are they?
well, that's why I talked to
Hmm,
you somewhere else. But
that's weird.
Yeah, I find that happens with Twitter sometimes, and the people are like, "Oh, just that happened with Chrissy Mayer
Hmm.
because I was actually on one of her shows and I translated for her because she had a Japanese guest,
Oh, cool.
really,
and yeah. Oh, did I not tell you about
when
this?
when was this?
Oh
That's
man,
really
this was
cool.
this was so if you ever see if I ever pop in the chat, she says, "Oh, the Jinja Ninja over Japan. Thank you so much." Well, my little spiel to fame. But what happened was she said she threw out on Twitter. She was like, "Hey, does anybody out there know how to speak Japanese?" And then my Japanese isn't perfect. It's far from being perfect, but I could speak enough to uh, to uh, to to get my thoughts across and to have conversation daily and what have you. So I said, without even thinking, I just said, "Yeah, I can speak Japanese." She's like, "Oh, thank you so much. Just DM me on Twitter." So I went to go DM her and I couldn't. And so I think it was the same problem that maybe Tom's having with you.
Well,
So I
I
went over
just
to
realized I wasn't following him, so maybe that's why I just followed. I
You
just
just
followed you,
realized you weren't
Tom.
following him. Yeah, sure.
I
Thank
just
you,
realized
thank
this
you.
was
Finally,
I'm sorry.
that's all I wanted. It's
there is a heavenly glow of light now descending upon
that's
Roger
right.
Ryder as we speak.
I finally made it. Uh,
Yeah,
Phil
but
TMNT. Oh, Megan is being drawn.
Yes.
oh yeah.
Isn't that cool?
And
Oh my goodness.
if you like it, it's yours by the way. This is going to be presented to Megan later.
Oh,
It's I
thank
wasn't
you.
yeah. If you want it, you can throw
You're
it
gonna
away.
sign it, right? You're gonna sign it.
Normally, I don't sign my pictures.
Oh,
I sign them on the back. And
okay. That's
the reason is, I've always had this like thing. If somebody sees my picture and they don't know it's a Jinja Ninja or a James Harris picture, then I haven't done it right. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird.
oh.
So I don't
No,
sign my
I
pictures
like
up front usually.
that. Okay.
And I feel like I feel also like it's its own world. And if I put a signature in there, it breaks it up.
Mm.
It's something that it doesn't belong there. That's just how I am with it. So I always sign the back. I put on there my name, sometimes a little message, and then the date, and then the medium, and then the title. But what was I talking about just right now? Oh yes, Chrissy Mayer. So she says, DM me. I couldn't DM her on Twitter, so I DM'd her on Instagram, but I never got a reply. She's
Oh.
like, I have a Japanese guest coming up, and I need somebody to help me translate. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess maybe she found somebody else. She's kind of she's got like a following, so I'm sure there's people out there, maybe who could, maybe even do it professionally. Sounding like a sip, but even his drawing, Megan, is very beautiful. Oh, there you go.
Thanks, Mel.
All right. But then I was teaching at a nursery school, and on my way back home, I stopped. I always just like pop something up on YouTube and listen to that while I'm going back. And I noticed that she's got her stream up. She's doing her live stream, and I noticed like I just take a quick look at it. I was like, oh, there's a Japanese person on there. I was like, oh, I bet this is the person that she needed help with.
Mhm.
And then I pulled over to a convenience store, and I said, and I looked at the stream, and oh shoot, what do I do here? But okay, I'll do it. And so I went to the chat and I said, hey, Chrissy, I'm the Jinja Ninja. I'm the guy that wrote you about translating. I see, because she was having difficulty. There was no translator on there. Well,
Oh no.
she wasn't having a whole lot of difficulty, but she obviously needed a little bit of help. So I was like, she's like, oh my gosh, the Jinja Ninja. Yes. I was waiting for you, like for a mail from you. And I wrote, like, I couldn't DM you on Twitter. So I DM'd you on Instagram, but I never got a reply. And she had her producer who was there. She's like, get in contact with them. Can you hop on the stream right now? Like, sure, throw me on there. And I was all nervous because I thought she was going to bring on like some kind of Japanese, maybe like a politician, a political
Mm.
related person, or something of the sort. I didn't know what to expect because my Japanese when it comes to politics is shit. I just can't. I don't talk about politics, so I don't know the lingo. And I hop on there, and I kind of knew who it was, and yeah, I was like, oh, it's a porn star, a Japanese porn star, so who lives in L.A. and yeah, I was like, okay, what am I going to translate today? And sure enough, it
Ooh.
was exciting. Yeah. So yeah, I was on
Wow.
there for I think it was on there for about an hour helping out, and yeah, that's my, I guess, 1 degree of Kevin Bacon to Chrissy Mayer.
Nice.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, that was surreal. Yeah, but yeah. So I don't know why we were talking about that, but oh, there we go. That's another little anecdote.
No idea how we got there.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Well, I mean, that's the
but-
thing is
yeah.
like you know, what's the worst that can happen, right? Is someone says no. So
Exactly. Yeah.
why not put yourself out there? Why not take a risk? Why not,
Mhm.
you know, shoot your shot? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right?
Who said that?
I don't know. Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? I was looking up that quote before, but I
Oh,
forgot.
another thing
So-
I was going to say is like whenever you started Twitter, like Instagram, most of the people that I knew on Instagram, Facebook were people I literally met in life, real life.
Yes.
So I knew that they were real. But when it comes to Twitter, I'm like, are these people real or not? Or are these like, I didn't think you were actually real for a while. I was like, is this person like,
really?
well, no, it's like that with a lot of people on there because you see them and you're like, are these people real or is this just like a? Because I think I didn't meet you through like YouTube or like somebody's stream. It was like you reacting to my pictures,
Yes.
and
Okay.
and I would get people react to my pictures. I was like, these people, they would send you like a direct message, just like, oh, nice to meet you. Like, nice to meet you too. What's your name? James Harris. How old are you? That's really personal. Are you married? Where do you live? It's like, well, no, this isn't
Ooh,
real. Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck you. And so then whenever you're like, oh, beautiful picture, it's like, my guards go up immediately. Like, are these people real or not? Right. And then it's also another like aspect as I don't know how I know how I am as an artist. Like when people give you a compliment, you're like, thank you. But at the same time, it's like, I don't deserve any compliment. All my stuff is shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, at first I was like, so and she's like, model? Why would a model be saying my stuff is good? Is she real? And then when you find out people are
Well,
real,
and
it's
then a
like,
lot of models actually on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok are there's articles out there about this, but they're basically like, you know, all those filters, right?
yeah.
That I mean, there
Yeah.
are filters out there that literally change the structure of your
Yep.
face.
Yep.
So you don't even look like the same person anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so there are people that are content creator models, online models, and you would never see them in print in real
Yep.
life because every picture you see of them is so filtered and so photoshopped. And even if they
Yep.
do a live, they're
Yep.
using so many filters, they're not actually what you're seeing.
I hear you there.
And then there's a
Yeah.
bunch of actually AI models
Mhm.
that they create.
That's insane, isn't it?
Yes, and they create like Instagram pages for them and stuff. And
That's
they're not even real people at all that exist. Like they're just made up.
That's just like how times have changed. I mean,
Mhm.
I remember playing Pac-Man when I was a little kid. You know, Pac-Man. And
Yeah.
to me, that was like top tier technology, the thing. And now it's like, oh well, that person might be real or might not. We don't know.
Yeah, they might be computer generated. You never know. Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
They might just be trying to get money from you. Who knows?
yeah.
Ugh.
Phil's talking about how I actually see Meg in some streams. Was honestly nervous to DM her because didn't want her to think I'm a creep. Well, you know, Radiohead said it better.
And then
I'm a
I
creep.
had to
you're doing better than her other fan in the chat, so I'll just put it that way.
There's Oh, there's another
Megan, you
fan.
know this Dr. Jester?
Oh yes, he's silly.
Oh,
He's fine.
wow.
He's fine.
Yeah, I it has to be different too as like you know, I guess us
A
guys don't get
Twitter
simps.
model.
Yeah,
A Twitter, like a fake model.
yeah. Oh no, like for
Yeah.
us guys and gals, we get different kind of reactions from. It's kind of weird though. I guess as if people like Gary Neurotics, they get like the fans that are very enthused,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't gotten any of that yet. I don't know if I ever will, but
We'll
I
get
imagine
there. We'll get there.
someday. I want a
That's
stalker.
right.
Where's my stalker?
When we're 50, we'll get there.
Yeah. Are you planning on going to any of the meetups or any kind of cons, Megan?
The Dallas one is really, really close to me.
Oh, really?
Yes, like it's only a couple hours, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it because it's the same. Like it's on I think they're doing their meetup on the Thursday, like the
It is on a
before.
Thursday.
Ah.
And then so I'd have to take time off for that, but I'd have to go up alone, or I'd have to make plans to meet somebody. But the only somebodies I know that would go are from Twitter, and I've never met them in real life.
Which is it's one of those things. Like, are they real?
You might not come back.
Or yeah,
I'm pretty sure they're real, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
yeah.
So I don't want to like make plans and be like, yeah, I'll meet you at the Dallas meetup, and then I get there and like they don't show, or I don't
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
because I'd love to go, but don't want to go alone.
Yeah. I kind of want to go, but like it would seriously be me like leaving here Thursday morning, getting there at like noon, staying there for a day, and then like leaving Friday morning. Like that would be my trip. I'm not, if I were to go, it wouldn't be me staying longer than that. Go to the meetup and that's about it. That's in like a month, and that's
Yeah.
like two months before we would like launch our campaign. So one thing is I've been talking to Odin from OMB Reviews. Yeah, OMB, there you go. And I would like to meet him there, but besides that, it's just like I said, me and James met last year in Vegas at a meetup for them, and I don't like the big crowd thing, so I like tearing my camera off and just kind of being to myself. That's about it.
Yeah. I'm the opposite. I'll just like jump right into the crowd and start shaking hands and hey, nice to meet you. I'm this. But I used to not be like that a long time ago. But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm definitely not like that.
I guess also like traveling all the way from Japan to Vegas for this thing, I better
You're gonna make it worth your while.
Make it worth my while. Exactly.
Whereas me, I go there for 5 days to meet, some YouTubers, and I spend the whole time outside in the smoking section, and I don't say hi to any of the people I went there to meet. So that's who I am. But
I dragged you in there on that second day. I dragged you in there on
know
that second day.
You did. I know Ron from Idaho, and I know Rob, and I saw Rob the next day after I missed my flight.
Whoops.
Oh, no.
So I met him at a meetup, and then I saw him the next day after I missed my flight. So that's my story. There you go.
Oh.
Sorry, Meg. I think the original question before was like, what were your aspirations with your YouTube channel? I think we kind of got off topic there. Yeah. I just kind of went on a random topic. Do you have any goals in mind?
I basically said I just want to expand and review more than just comic books.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
so you're saying you know, you didn't know how to like review TV shows.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Yeah, like
do you
how would
have
I wouldn't want to go episode by episode. Would I do like I would probably just do a season at a time, I guess. And I
well
mean that's
you
not I
gotta
don't
think
have the time to do that. Like one day a week is like TV shows and the other day is comic books because I do have a job, like, you know. I do work also. I have to like pay bills and stuff. So that would, I don't know. I would guess maybe it would be like a monthly thing, maybe.
Mm.
And I would do a monthly live stream and review, have some people on, and we would talk about maybe, I don't know, a cartoon or a couple different cartoon shows or something. I'm kind of trying to figure out in my mind what that would look like,
yeah, I got you.
right? Like
And
how
you kind of got it. You kind of have to try it out and see if it works or not. You can't.
mm-hmm.
I mean, as much as you know, you could think about it as much as you want, but when you actually put it into practice and try it out, then you'll realize whether or not it works.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yep.
yeah, trial and error.
well
Trial and
I
error.
would say there's a couple ways of going about it. There's either like you kind of get like your little support group kind of thing going on, like you know, like a couple people that you work with every
Mm-hmm.
now and then, or on a regular basis, should I say? And then you know, the other one is like you know, you just random people and kind of go with the flow. You know, probably easier to have like a smaller group and
Yeah.
you're more comfortable with all of them, especially being an introvert like yourself, as you claim. But
I really am, I promise.
Oh, I got a name for your channel. I have a name for it for that. Get together a bunch of noobs, right?
Okay.
Right? And you could call yourself NKOTB, Noob Kids on the Block. I came up with it. Thank you very
oh my
much.
gosh,
NKOBT.
Oh, wait a second.
noob,
You don't know about. Do you know New Kids on
new
the
kids
Block?
on the block,
Yes,
noob,
yes, I
noob
do.
kids on the block.
Noob Kids on the Block.
Kids on the block. Oh my gosh.
NKOTB, baby.
Hey,
That's actually kind of cool.
Thank
hang
you.
on,
I'm
hang
full
on,
of great, amazing ideas.
James.
Sorry.
James, just
Yeah.
keep working, okay?
Sorry.
Stick and drawn, sir.
Darn it. I
Oh
thought I was
my
being really
gosh.
witty there.
Find a bunch of noobs.
Yeah, and Noob's Kid
That
on the
could
Block.
be difficult because they'd have to be
Jane.
noobs that like
Uh-huh.
they want. I don't know. Are they just there to like? What is that when they like the people that like pretend they're into comics and everything, but they're just doing it for
Posers.
content? Posers, yeah. Like I wouldn't want to
No,
find a
I
bunch
mean-
of noobs that are like actually end up being posers.
I'd say okay. So for me, James, can you read this? What's on the screen?
Oh,
Oh, hold on a
somebody wrote
second.
Japanese.
Oh, it says, is that Tora ana ni harazu ba Tora ko erezu? Is that the kanji for Tora? Let me see. Darn it. Something about a hole without going in the hole, or to get the, what kind of animal is that? What animal is that? Hold on a second. I actually have to look that up. I don't know that kanji. But it's a animal. Oh, darn it. Maybe it's to fall in the tiger pit. To get the tiger without falling in the tiger pit? Is that what that means? I'm trying to highlight his message.
Oh,
But I
did they
can't
write it
copy
in
it.
English above? Because there's
Oh, there it is. Yeah, it is. Okay. Oh, hey, I can read Japanese.
Oh.
Yeah. If you don't enter the tiger's den, you don't catch a tiger cub. Oh, okay. I can read it. There you go. Yeah.
You just said tiger, and then I saw that up there.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't enter the tiger's den, yeah. That's what it's like. Because it's Tora ana. Tora ana is Tora, is tiger, ana is hole. Hairaz, this is written in like proverbial Japanese, like a, you know, like in Confucius says kind of way, you know. Torana ni harazumba, hairazumba torako o ezu. Ezu, eru means to get. So without, yeah, to get to. There you go. Woohoo! My studies, they worked.
Great job. Only took
Thank you.
20 years, but we got there.
Yes. For me to read on a YouTube stream.
Yeah.
I was like, tiger hole. What does that mean? What is a tiger hole? Oh, a den. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Yeah, that takes a long time to learn that kind of to how to read that stuff. And to be honest, I haven't like there are over 3,000 Chinese characters that you have to learn, and I've only learned about 300. So I'm about 2,700 away.
That's a lot.
So
Yeah.
close.
Yeah. I don't think I'll ever get there, but no love lost at all. I should have come a little bit closer. Oh well, nobody's gonna see the picture. There we go. Megan, are you having a good time?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to keep you talking.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's
you
fine.
know
Bad
what?
talker
No,
sometimes.
I kind of remember what I was going to say. I forgot.
Oh, we
for
were
a
talking
second,
about
but,
posers.
Oh yeah.
no, posers. So no, in my opinion,
Close
right, noob is more of a gamer word than opposed to like
Mm-hmm.
superhero kind of nerd content. Are you into any games or anything like that, or is that
I do
not?
like I'm really bad. I'm really, really, really bad. Like really bad. Like you don't even understand how bad. I've been trying to play Witcher 3 on PS4 and I'm so bad. It's really
Can you at
fun.
least get out of the first room?
Yeah,
Can you open the door?
because Gary can't do that.
No.
Gary can't get out of the first room. He's
I
stuck.
haven't got out of the first room yet, but I haven't played it in
my
like
God.
months.
Oh, we
I
got
haven't
a
played it in
noob.
months. I
Oh,
haven't
she's
played
a
it in
noob.
months because then I started playing Breath of the Wild on Switch, and then yeah, I started playing Breath of the Wild on Switch, and got really caught up in that. But now I'm stuck there, so yeah, it's cool. Somebody gave me a tip on how to unstick myself, so I'm gonna try and follow that tip.
There you go. Soundbite that.
No, really bad. I'm sorry. So like I enjoy it, but I'm really, really bad. Like really bad at it.
You'd rather watch the story happen than actively try and complete the story yourself.
It depends. Because now that I've started playing, I'm like, okay, I actually want to be able to do this, but I don't have what it takes. Like there's me and controllers are not friends. And I can't remember what buttons to push to make certain things happen. I literally need like a cheat sheet so I can be like, this and this makes me jump. Okay. I don't know how people remember that. Like it's this weird muscle memory that I don't have. My brain is not connecting. I don't know.
It used to be so easy, just a joystick with one button on it, and that was it. And now I can't keep up with it now.
Yeah, there's this company. It's called FromSoft, and they've got these really easy games that you'll just love.
Like tic-tac-toe? That's my extent.
No, they make Dark Souls 1, 2, 3. They make Demon Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring.
Ooh.
Very, very difficult games.
Yeah. I have watched
gotta work
people
your way
play
up
Elden
there.
Ring.
When you say difficult, no, I'm noob when it comes to video games. The last thing I played was like Counter-Strike back in college 20 years ago. And I got really, really addicted to it. But whenever you say really difficult, right? What do you mean by really difficult? Like, what's really difficult about those games? Because I don't know. I haven't played it at all.
Right. Well, so like the balancing is not necessarily in the player's favor.
Gotcha.
As far as like the way you scale as opposed to the way the world scales against you. So you're kind of behind the curve on that.
Okay.
The predictability of enemies is not super easy to kind of pick up on. It's very sporadic. Sometimes they move a lot faster than they probably should,
Right.
just for the sake of being difficult. Basically, like for someone that's played like from a lot of FromSoft games,
Mhm.
they're used to that kind of challenge where it's like, oh, like so you can play for like 2 hours straight, right? And then like die twice in a row,
Yeah.
and whatever progress you just had for the last 2 hours is basically gone as far as like leveling up and experience wise.
Ouch.
So
Oh.
it's not like permadeath levels of consequence, but like
Uh-huh.
it's pretty it's up there as far as a normie game, a game that sold 12 million copies, you know what I mean? Like
Uh-huh.
for a game of that prestige, it's difficult. So
I definitely
you,
cannot play that. Nope.
Yeah, that's not for
you're
me.
gonna take setbacks, and it's either like you just kind of roll with the punches or you just stop playing. I mean, it's really those simple as that.
Yikes. Yeah, no, that's not for me. At this point in my life, nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll just
It
stick
kind of
with-
takes like a glutton for punishment, you like you gotta be a little sadistic in the head to kind of get into these type of games, like a challenge,
Mm.
Yeah, I like sometimes I hear people talking about playing. It's like, oh, that sounds like it could be really fun. And then I'm like, I know I'll get addicted to it. That's like one of the reasons I don't want Gary to start it up, because I know he has issues with game addiction and other kinds of addictions. So I know he's probably scared as well. Like, yeah, I'll do it. But in the back of his mind, he's thinking, if I started this, I'm going to lose my YouTube channel. So I'm like just going, guys, stop asking him to do it. Don't stop it. Yeah. That's the boat I'm in. Yeah.
Well, and I guess a lot of video games, like, you have to spend quite a lot of time on them to be good
Yeah.
at them,
Yeah.
especially like going up to Elden Ring and everything like he was talking about. Like you can spend a lot of time playing video games and then be good at them, but what have you lost?
Yeah. What kind of other kind of things could you have been doing in the meantime?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I just don't have time. Like there's no way possible. Like as it is, I'm pressed just to, just to get like my artwork done. I feel like if I'm not drawing 24/7, then I'm like kicking myself in the
Hmm.
yeah.
I don't remember if it was like a video or something, way back a while ago, but like basically they were talking about the first video games as they kind of came into being, and for like a person to be represented on a screen, you know what I mean? Like they are no longer themselves. They are now this little blue square on a
Mhm.
screen
Right.
that's representing them as a player. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you kind of have to
Avatar.
disconnect yourself from the game
Right.
and kind of buy into whatever they're selling to really get into it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yep.
So I thought that was interesting, just because you look at where graphics are nowadays, and it's just like super realistic.
Yeah.
You could basically make yourself into a character that you're
Mm-hmm.
playing, but that doesn't necessarily mean the games are better nowadays. You know what I mean?
Simulator lover. Especially usually works in unsticky stuff. Sorry, I'm just randomly looking at Dr. Jester's comments here. And seen out of context could be interpreted in many interesting ways.
But I'm not the worst one here tonight.
Not even close. Not even close.
Oh man.
Well, thank you, Dr. Jester, for being here, even though you're here for one person and one person only. We appreciate you being here.
Oh, there's only one person? Well, hey, one's better than none. What time is it for you guys over there?
11:45.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yep. Coming up on midnight.
Coming up on midnight. I will have to leave in a few minutes.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
thinking
sure.
my window for my stomach is going crazy. It's like almost 2:00. I haven't had lunch, so it's like right before lunchtime. Starts right before lunchtime, 11. So then we go through. So whenever my stomach starts going, time to finish. Yeah, yeah.
Almost
But
11.
I'll give you a little look at the. I think I'm pretty much done with the black ink part, and then I'll just go in with color later. Maybe I might add some like old Western signs to this. I was thinking in the window. I was thinking in the window back here, have some customers sitting back there, and maybe some old Western signs on here. I might erase some stuff. But there you go.
That looks awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. I've never actually had anybody draw me before that I know of. So that was really. When you asked, I was
That
like,
you know
"Oh,
of.
okay."
That I know of. There's some stalker
That I
people out
know
there.
of.
No, but as soon as like, I didn't know you were going to be on tonight, and then as soon as I saw the with Megan, I was like, she's going to be on tonight. I was like, oh, wait a second, and then just like kind of things clicked. Oh, she had those Western pictures that I was talking that we were talking about, and
Yes.
yeah, and if there is a possibility down the line, and because I am. It's easy. It's not really easy to draw everything exactly from the brain,
Mm-hmm.
and so if there are instances down the line where I might need some modeling expertise, you would be first in mind if that would be okay.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
of course, for work,
sure.
there's no such thing as I won't pay you in peanuts or heart emojis. It'll be
Thank you. I appreciate it.
yeah. All right.
Paid
Thank
in
you,
exposure.
Dr. Jester. Thank you. That's weird because like I don't even realize I'm drawing stuff while I'm talking. It's like I'm not even, you know what I mean? And then when I'm finished, I'm like, oh, whoops, oh, it did something.
Does
And
it
we're
sound
done.
like you're focusing on like parts and you don't really see the whole yet, or like?
Oh no, I'm just like talking and like in a different zone.
Okay.
So
Zoning out.
Yeah, I'm zoning out, and so whenever I stop, it takes me a while to come back to this reality kind of thing.
Do you ever walk
artwork?
away?
Yeah,
Do you ever walk
Uh-huh.
away from your art and then come back and look at it and it looks different?
All the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes, well, I always tell my students to do like the 15 minutes, stand up. Don't look at your picture while you're walking away. Don't look
Right.
at your picture. Don't look at it all. Walk away from it and then turn around and look at it and then go with your first impressions because your first impressions are going to be right. What needs to be what's working and what's not working.
Mm.
That when you turn around, that your first impression, like, okay, that works and that doesn't work. All right, let's do that. Every 10 or 15, 20 minutes, just stand up, walk away. And then also, the problem I have is like I get done with a piece, I'm like, oh man, this is amazing. And then the next day, I look at it, this is shit. But it's just your what I always get objective and subjective wrong. Which one is the one where it's objectively it's bad, right?
Are facts. Objective is facts,
Or
and
fact.
subjective is
Subjective
feelings.
to look at it non-subjectively, I guess. Objectively, my English is shit. It usually I give it the 1 day rule. If after a day you go back and look at it and it's good, then but then I say that, and then I get comments from other people like, "This is amazing." Think that one story. My last little story for today, and I'll let you guys go. I did a trip in Italy. Probably some of you people out there have heard this. Sorry if I'm repeating it. I went on a study abroad trip to Italy up in Feltre in the north. We're there for a month. We had a studio. We would draw and paint every day. And at the end of it, we had a group exhibition. And I knew we were going to have an exhibition, but I didn't know that it was going to be juried. They didn't tell us this. But so they had an artist, a local artist, come in, and he juried the exhibition. And out of all of the pictures, he chose one for like the grand prize. And the grand prize was like $100, a book from the local museum, and your piece was put in that museum forever.
Cool.
And he chose one of my pictures for the grand prize. So I have a piece in Italy right now, I guess still there, hopefully, I don't know. But I hated that piece so much. I was even debating whether or not to put it up. And it just goes to show you sometimes, I don't know, maybe you're not the best judgment of what is good and isn't good of your work. And sometimes it's just, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But yeah, it was one of those weird things. So I don't know. Sometimes maybe you look too hard at it. Sometimes, yeah, but you could definitely have the same pick and you look at it. It's like different. Yeah, the day after. Yeah. Long answer to a short question, Megan. I apologize.
I liked it.
Oh, there we go.
You love those around here.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
Take another 7 minutes.
Oh, okay. Or is 2 your out time?
I don't know. No, there's no structure. We got no plans.
Well, I really should go. I feel like I'm turning into a pumpkin. So.
Uh-oh. Well, thank you for
like
joining
the whole
us,
Cinderella thing?
Megan.
Oh, there we go.
The Noob Reviews.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank you
much.
for having me. It was really
Enjoy.
fun, and I have a huge list.
Now go do your homework. No
Homework.
sleeping.
Yep.
I have so much
As soon
homework
as you're done with
now.
that, you're coming back, and we're gonna give you new stuff.
Please don't quiz me though. I don't retain information well.
Join the club.
That's fine.
What's your name again?
You can have a little cheat sheet. That's fine.
You won't know if I'm cheating, so
Exactly.
have it like right down here. A pumpkin.
A pretty pumpkin, according
Thanks,
to Phil
Phil.
TMNT. Yes.
Thank you, Phil.
Pretty. Just don't carve her. Oh, that's kind of strange. Sorry. I said that out loud.
It's weird. It's weird.
It's weird, man. It's weird.
It's weird.
Don't carve her and put a candle inside her. That would be kind of outrageous. Yeah. But hey, if you ever are looking for somebody to pop on and yeah, talk about things on your show, if you're ever looking for a guest, be more than happy to. If you want to get some practice, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I'll keep
Before you
guys
get to the
in
bigger
mind.
names.
Yes. Well, the bigger games. Yeah. Okay. I don't know how big, but no, this is really fun and chill, and yeah, it was really relaxing. I learned a lot. I learned a lot.
There you go.
Well, we're happy to have you. Thank you
Yeah.
for coming on today. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All
Anytime.
right. So, yeah, we got your links in the description. Twitter.
Yeah, go check out the
your
Noob Reviews.
Yeah, check out my Noob Reviews. I have a modeling YouTube I haven't done much with, but I'm gonna put some new stuff up there, and yeah, follow me.
Make it happen.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
she
whoops.
left.
Oh, she left. Oh, okay. Wow.
Okay, bye.
I thought I was gonna give you some outro music or.
She just
Of the
left.
sort.
I don't know.
All right, there we go. That was a hard. What is it called? Like a hard intro.
That is
That's a hard
exit
outro?
Stage left, I guess. I don't know.
She got like that hook that pulls a oh.
Matane? Is that a thing?
Matane. Oh, matane means see you next time. See you later.
Ah,
Matane.
yes. Ah, yes. De nada.
That's Spanish.
Does that work or no? No.
No, it works for
whatever.
Spanish speaking people, but I don't know about everybody else. What's man? Whenever when I first started studying Japanese, I had just done like 3 years of Spanish in high school. Oh man, it was so difficult not to like every other word was Spanish. You know what I mean? Like Ichi, Dos. Oh shit! Back to Spanish again. What am I doing? Yeah. But I stuck with it, and now I'm here. Success story.
Hey, yeah.
Woohoo!
That's what we like to hear.
I was hoping to get into coloring this thing tonight, but I've been going really slow with the inks here.
You have been going slow tonight. What's your problem?
Well, I think I was talking. Remember last time? Like, what's his name? I keep on forgetting his name.
Shadowpunk?
Shadowpunk. He was talking the whole time, so I didn't have to do anything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But this time I felt like I want like it was, like I had questions I wanted to ask, and I was wanting to engage with the guest more. So I think it's like I've been spending more time on. And another thing too, when you're drawing from a picture, it's a different process.
Yeah.
Like and you want to do honor to the person as well, and try to portray them uh, as faithfully to the picture as possible. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, you concentrate more on that, that aspect of it. But yeah, I feel like it turned out nicely. Still like to throw some color on it though. And then the idea of throwing some signs back here, maybe some people in a saloon. That would be cool. Yeah. But
Yeah.
maybe I need some food as well.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I dig it.
Yep.
I see the resemblance, and the lattice is cool, even though it looks like a freaking pain in the butt to do. But
It's actually fun. You're just doing negative space. You're doing like negative drawing. It's a really good. And I'm not doing it exactly the same because that's just like no way. That's like super realism. But it's good for practice for doing things later on. Every drawing is like is some kind of practice for something that you're going to be doing on later. So yeah, I was glad that she was let me use this picture to practice with. And like I said before, I'm going to send this to her as a thank you.
Yeah. Oh,
for
cool.
coming on the show. And yeah. Yeah.
Since you kind of brought that up, I mean, this is more behind the scenes kind of talk, but
Yeah.
just kind of looking at other people's campaigns and what they're doing.
Yeah.
Some people are offering like basically the the original layout
Cells.
or
Yeah.
or sketch or whatever.
Mhm.
Basically the original art
Mhm.
as a perk, like
Sure. Sure. Yeah. I'd be
thousand
up for that.
like $1,000 for we'd scan it in first, but then you would send it to them as a perk. So
Yeah.
um,
Before I put anything up on, whenever I put something up on the, on Twitter or whatever, I scan it in originally. So all of the work that I've done is all scanned. Like, it's all, you know, high definition scans or high resolution scans. Sorry, high resolution scans. So yeah, that would be no problem whatsoever. I'd definitely be up for something like that. So if you guys wanted an original piece along with a comic, yeah, two birds, one stone. Definitely, I'd completely be up for that. Because to be quite honest, where am I going to put all this stuff? I would rather. That's the thing I'm about with my artwork. I would rather it be on somebody else's wall rather than just sitting in a box or sitting on my wall. You know.
yeah.
So if we could include that in a perk, I would be completely up for that. Yeah.
Well, I was lucky enough to be one of the first 100 to back Reaper Destroyer.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah,
Are you getting original?
Well, no, what I'm getting is the first 100 got like a metal trading card.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Number one got a either original art, or if you're a creator, you got like you got the option to get like a cover basically from uh Joe Sontag.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if that's how you properly say his name, but
Oh, you get to create a cover for one of their comics?
well, he would draw one for you.
Oh.
So Rob the Replicator was actually number one. Um you might not know these people, but yeah, he got number one, so he's gonna
Oh,
get his
cool.
own little cover
Oh,
apparently.
that's sweet. Like a personalized cover?
Well, what I mean by that is uh like Rob does his own books, so Joe would do like a
A
cover for
cover
him.
for his comic. I gotcha. I
Yeah,
gotcha. Oh,
yeah,
that's cool. That's
a
cool.
commission basically.
Nice, 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 nice.
Yeah, but um, so I was stationed out in Camp Pendleton, California, for 4 years, and I went to San Diego Comic Con in, I'm gonna say, '08. I think that's when I went.
Uh-huh.
And I was just kind of walking around there. I never really been into comics before that or anything. I
Right.
was more of like a X-Men TV show
Uh-huh.
kind of guy as
Yeah.
opposed to a comic book guy.
Yeah.
So I went to San Diego Comic Con. Like I said, I think it was '08,
Right.
and I walked past like the Top Cow uh, booth, and I
Uh-huh.
saw the Darkness, and I just bought like everything of the Darkness that they had at that time. I went back and like tried to get from number one to whenever, just to know the whole story.
Mhm.
and and basically that's what Reaper Destroyer is like trying to emulate, is just the 90s
Oh, that kind of yeah, when I saw it, that's what I felt. That kind of touch, that kind of aesthetic. Oh man.
yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward. And like, dude used to be in a metal band, uh Joe and M Sontag
Mhm.
used to be in, uh I can't think of it right now, but he used to be in a band, man. Something, something, something. Three words for his band. I can't remember it right now.
Uh I would be completely oblivious to it. I might have heard of it, but
But I believe this is his first campaign, and he just passed 30,000,
uh-huh.
342 backers. And
Wow.
he honestly just launched this weekend, or like
No
last
way.
week.
That's amazing.
Well, he's got 25, it says 25, so he launched 5 days ago.
Mhm.
So he launched on Michael Bancroft's channel on like it was Saturday. That's when he launched. It was Saturday, so I'm trying to pay attention to what other people are doing.
Yeah, you're
And
doing a good job of that. Better than me, man. I've just been solely focused in on finishing my artwork. I'm trying to stay away from everything else. Like, um, Yeah, I'm trying as much as possible, just still try to interact with people as much as I can. But man, I like to meet the deadline. I need to basically be working every day. I set up a kind of a calendar with my consultant and got kind of a rude awakening.
Well, you know what? So personally, I'm glad that you got whatever kind of uh backing or advice
Mm,
that you got from him,
yeah,
because I mean I want to see more from you.
yeah, of
And
course.
that's not saying that you're working slow. I'm just saying that, like, no matter what you give me, I want to see more from you. So
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, and I want to see more as well. Like I'm ready to finish the storyboards. I've got them in my head. I've got the last part in my head, and if you see things that you don't like in the storyboards, just let me know, and then we could talk about that when we're have a little meeting maybe on the. There are some things. Oh, shoot, my ears. One thing about these headphones is like if I wear them for a long time, my glasses, they press into the side of my head. Uh, all right, but
yeah, same with me. My
yeah.
things fall out and they hurt my ears, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they
You
they
persevere,
they hide
persevere.
they hide under my hair, so I take it.
Yeah. Uh, so yeah, yes, I feel like if I push myself in the timeline and the whole calendar that I've come up with, then we could get it definitely done by the time that we're looking to start our crowdfunding. So yeah, just a matter of
Well,
doing it.
yeah, I mean, even with that, like, so if the if one of the perks is to, you know, and we could talk about this later, but
Yeah, get a self.
if one of the perks is to be drawn in, um, I mean, that's still like
Yeah,
30 days of
yeah,
being on the campaign,
yeah,
you know. So it's not like every 100% of the art needs to be done before the
yeah. I got you.
campaign
Yeah,
launches.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Oh, just to address Dr. Jester's. Yes, I wanted to get some very nice ones that cover the ear completely, but a little bit out of my range for what I was willing to spend on headphones this time around. But the next time I buy some, I am going to get the ones that completely cover the ears. This one's whenever I put them on and tried them on at the store, they felt fine. And to be honest, the first few times I wore them, they were fine. But I think it's just that maybe after wearing for a while, it just kind of wears out my ears. So somewhere down the line, I'm going to try those kind of headphones. But yeah, thank you for the advice there, the recommendation. Sorry, Tom. Oh, by the way, I think I'm going to head out soon myself because I'm very hungry. It's 2:10 here. Oh, a Cuervo.
yeah,
There you
I'm
go.
about halfway through this bottle tonight, so
Oh, look, hey, hey, Megan just put something in the chat here. Sorry, like an airhead technologically challenged noob, I excited the stream before I exited. But it says excited the stream. She excited the stream before I was done
she
talking.
did excite the stream. Megan, thank you so much for being here. The
Yeah,
Noob Reviews, there are links in the
yeah.
description. Check her out. She's amazing. She's
And
more than a model.
yeah,
That's all I got. I don't know.
and yeah, and
Here,
she will excite the
cheers.
stream. Yeah. Yeah, it was great to actually meet her. Well, no, you can't say this is a meeting in person, but to actually hear a voice with it's like hear the text that you see in a voice. You know what I mean? Instead of just
Is
like
this the
hearing.
first time you talk in
Yeah,
person?
I've never no, I've never seen her online. I've seen her on like seen her videos. Yeah, I've seen a few
Well,
of those, but
so
I've never
like,
spoken to her like this. Yeah.
yeah, no, it's weird because like y'all, like you two go back and forth on Twitter,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
which I
yeah,
see.
yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, like I'll invite her, you know,
Yeah,
James
yeah,
and her know each other, so like they'll kind of, they'll
yeah,
they've got their own relationship, right? So I thought it would be easier for you almost,
yeah, yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Well,
you and her.
that's what we were talking about earlier, like how we are the kind of people that we don't really go out and invite people. We just like if somebody says, "Hey, come on our show," well, sure, yeah, I'll do it. You know, so it's something that actually you're doing a really better job than I have ever done at doing that. So I say keep up the good work there. You've kind of taken over the position that I thought I might be that I might have. Huh? Hold on a second.
See, I booked the guest, and then you
Yeah,
got
yeah.
to talk to him.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So like I thought it was gonna be like the opposite, I'm booking guests and talk, but you've gone out and taken care of that. Like I appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah. But well, man, I think I'm gonna pop off here and go grab some food and
sounds good.
I want to finish these storyboards by tomorrow. So I've got
By tomorrow, all of them.
no this weekend. No, I've got 16 pages to go. No, less. 14 pages. 14
Okay.
more pages. So, but I've already got all the images in my head. So what I did this time, it was smart, which I should have been doing from the beginning, was, and mind you, this is the first time for me doing this as well, but I just went through and I just started taking notes like without revealing anything. I'll try without revealing anything. I don't think anybody's going to post these online or, so like, I don't know if you can see this or not. I'll cover this up. But yeah, this is page the 15th page. This is going to be on the left hand side this much. This is on the right hand side. This is on the left hand side, right hand side. So that's how I'm splitting them up now. And another thing that I did, I don't know if this is going to be impressive for you or not. Again, I'm just making this up as I do, like thinking, oh, this would be convenient to have this, and then trying it out as I go. And you won't be able to see the marks maybe, but what I've done. So for example, here's a storyboard. You see all these lines? All these lines? I've gridded out the paper into halves, quarters, and thirds. And what I get is a complete, I get a grid. And then that helps me organize and lay out the panels better. And with an old piece of mat board, I did this, made measurements. And then that's half,
Oh, that's cool.
3/4, and I put this over the paper and I do little marks, little score, like little marks with a pencil, and then add those, and then do that with a ruler. Afterwards, line them up, and then I have the whole grid set out for me for like one page. And then I could say, oh, I want this to be 3/4, or I want this to be a third, and I'm kind of organizing it like that as I'm going, and it makes it easier to like, yeah, visualize the page. There you go.
Very cool. I like it.
Yeah.
I like you having a plan. That's what I like.
I don't have a plan. I'm making this up as I go, man. Making this shit up as I go. But it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. We'll have something good to show people. All right, man. I'm gonna head out.
Okay.
Thanks again for all the hard
Sounds
work.
good.
Yeah, and so whatchamacallit? I don't know who you've got planned on for next time, but if you're cool with asking people, that's cool. If you want me to ask people, I can do that as well. No problem.
I kind of just figure it out as I go, man. I got
That's how
no
we all do it.
plans.
That's how we all do it.
I kind of wait till like Saturday morning, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get guests for next week. So
Yeah,
that's my process.
that's
So
completely fine, man. Completely fine. All right, dude. Good on you. Until next time.
all right, see ya.
All right. See you, man. Bye. Good job.
All right, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. And we got the Jinja Ninja. We had the Noob Reviews, and we had Part-Time Comics on the chat, on the show. Appreciate everyone for joining us tonight, and we will see you next week. at 9 p.m. Central Time. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.